Minerva Podcast, episode 33, with
Yay.
the boys and Donna. Okay.
I'm still seeing Waiting for Beast on YouTube.
Yeah, it takes a second. I always just start talking because the recording is started, so like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, my heart is racing.
Makes sense.
Now. I literally just ran to the other room because it's one of those days where I don't know if I put deodorant on too soon and I hadn't been dried off yet or whatnot, but it was failing.
Were you a little ripe?
Say all the podcast number stuff again, because that did not happen on YouTube.
Oh,
Minerva Podcast, episode 33. The recording has begun, Sig. So that's
Don't
my
care.
that's my starting signal. Maybe I should wait and line it up with the stream better next time, but it's so hard to tell.
Huh? Is there some way to tell? Yeah, I watch the screen until I see you talking.
That's
Oh,
refresh,
might not be the
refresh,
same for
refresh.
everybody.
Okay, well, real quick,
Refresh.
I'm going to take my headset off, but
Okay.
I cut my hair.
Oh, we can say whatever we
Sorry.
want about Sig now. Look at that.
Oh,
You
look
can just say
at
whatever
it.
you want
Look
about
at-
me. I can kind of.
it's a very nice haircut.
He can still hear us. Wow, we both got haircuts. Look at us go.
I did this myself.
Huh.
Me too.
Yeah, I've been
I
practicing.
did not.
Like
I put this on
working
all
on
by
learning to do that
myself.
fade myself is difficult.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I used to cut my own hair back when I cut my own hair.
Mm.
And
Back
I
when you
just
had
don't-
very little
yeah.
hair to save.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, I
I
see
was
those
never
ears
good
now.
at it.
It's
Like you're.
adorable.
Oh yeah, thanks.
I used to cut Clark's hair because he was afraid of the barber shop. And so what I would do, because he would basically have like your guys' haircut, right? Short. And he was afraid of it. He just didn't like sitting still. So what I would do is make him stand on a chair in front of the sink. And then we have these like baby bath bomb tablets that just change the color of the water. And I'd let him play with those and some bubbles in the sink. And he'd let me fade his hair just fine as long as he was
That
playing
works.
with bubbles in the
That's
sink.
something to
And
keep him occupied. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a friend growing up who was just, he had this fear of getting his hair cut. Like sometimes, I think he had one too many bad experiences of the hair getting tugged just a little too hard, or he was scared of the scissors and just hated it. He had long hair all growing up.
Yeah.
And, yeah. That was pretty much it though. He leveled out when he got older.
I would
my,
hope.
My
I'm actually pretty
cousin's-
proud of
my
him, 'cause-
cousin's child.
Ears.
When we were younger, he was like more diagnosed and on the spectrum and whatnot, but he just like must have been light because he really did grow out of it, and now he's just a fully functioning dude. Like he's a smart guy and everything. He's doing great.
My cousin's child was like 4, I think, sitting in the barber chair getting a haircut, like actual like comb and scissors haircut, not the clippers, comb and scissors, and the kid just went and grabbed the scissors and
Oh, no.
almost cut his thumb off.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I know that's an
Wow.
expression.
No damage. The kid was fine.
Right.
There was no, but like grabbed between the blades. Grabbed.
Yeah.
I know that's an
Barber was like,
expression,
"Whoa!"
but like what does it take to really cut a thumb off? Like actually,
A baby thumb.
Well,
About
if
4
it's your
pounds of
own
pressure and a
thumb,
good sharp pair of shears.
I didn't consider the age. of
good
the
to know, Sig.
person.
Well,
Sig's
and
like,
it's
yeah, I have
probably
experience in this
easier to
area.
cut it- because it's probably easier to cut it fully off at the joint, because then if you cut all the way through the muscle and whatnot, then you kind of just have to pop it. But if you're
Cartilage,
trying to cut, if you're
Ooh.
trying to cut at not a joint, then you have to get through the bone.
Yeah.
I regret
Fun fact.
asking so much.
yeah.
I
Fun
completely
so-
regret
fact.
asking.
You guys
The only
see this
reason,
car?
okay,
It goes
the
from
only
there.
reason I have any idea of anything what to do about talking about this is because you use kitchen shears to cut chickens apart.
Got it.
Mhm.
That's
And you
pretty
cut through bone a lot of times when you're doing stuff like that. Well, you try to avoid bone if
Yeah.
you can, but there are times when you're using kitchen shears.
We had
and
a
you're just-
demonstration in elementary
Just
school
half
about
of
how
a chicken
strong
leg.
bones were. And they're like, yeah, even chickens have bones. And they were like, no, thinking about frail chickens. They're like, no, here. Then they had chicken bones, and they're like, who are the strongest boys in class? And of course, I stood up. No, really, I did sign up to try and break it though, and here we are, failing to break a chicken bone.
I had one of the presses, and it shattered my ring finger, and it almost cut my ring finger off from inside. The bone shard did. And so I have a scar from the top of my knuckle here to the bottom of my knuckle here where it sliced.
That's horrifying.
I don't like remember it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, where you have like kind of flashes
Mhm.
and everyone's like, you don't remember back then. I remember getting
That's
into
a
the
lot
back
of pain to, yeah.
Right. I remember getting in the back of a coupe and my
Mhm.
mom was driving and my mom's boss was holding my hand in a towel.
Mhm.
Like, I don't specifically remember the pain. I just remember like that beige champagne color car that was like
Yeah.
everyone had in the 90s, the 80s.
It's a very 90s thing.
Because keep in mind, I was born in 89, so this was
Mhm.
early
Like
90s.
at least 100 years ago.
Right, at least 100 years ago.
Nobody ever
Just about.
specifies
Wow.
the century.
It was the last century. Yeah.
And so my little fat baby hand was in like a full cast from like, you know, the elbow down because I had to have
Yeah.
like surgery and stuff and have it set for like a year. And my mom didn't let any pictures of me happen for that year. So the only
man.
pictures of me in my little fat baby arm with my cast was I went with my grandmother to her like work picnic thing, company picnic.
Yeah.
And there were pictures of us taken there. So somewhere at my grandmother's house, and she's passed away, but somewhere at my grandmother's house, there are pictures of little fat baby me with a big old cast.
It's funny.
I somehow got to skip that whole breakage story that I'd want to hear too, because we listed our house officially as like on the market an hour ago, and we have a showing tonight already,
Yay.
which is way
Tonight?
faster than the realtor even expected. So that's that's
Yeah,
after the show, though.
that's
It's not a problem here, but
Convenient, actually.
Okay.
it is. But
So I know like getting house sold and bought and all that sort of stuff, that's normally a lengthy process for anyone
so if I actually
involved.
turn away now, you can see like it's just all cleaned out. Monkey's gone. Cords are
Jesus.
cleaned up. Oh yeah. No, this is why I get so silly whenever anybody tells me to clean my room. Like, you give me an afternoon of effort, we're fine. Like, it's gone. And that's pretty much what it was. Like, it's all just fucking empty back there. Everything we
And I
want to keep
remember-
is what?
I remember like seeing a little bit of the around the room stuff, and a lot of that wasn't even your stuff anyway.
It's not my crap. That's what I've been saying every time anybody ever tells me to clean my room. It's not my crap. Once we got the printer crap out of the way, so that shelf right there, as you probably remember or don't, I mean, the monkey concealed a lot. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was mostly boxes. Like, seriously,
But I think-
so much of it were just computer boxes.
I think by and large, a lot of people just believe that that's your room, when in fact
Yeah.
it's just a room in the
People
house
think-
that you've taken over part of.
People think this is a mess. I'm like, this isn't even fair. This is a set piece. I need this to be as
Yeah.
interesting as possible
your
for you.
backdrop.
It's my backdrop. I'm actually like, this desk is a lot cleaner every time I tidy it up. This is just
Oh, I'm with Rosa. I'm going green screen whenever I start actually streaming, doing stuff myself.
that can work.
You
I
could
like
put
you
like a
said.
nice little picture there, Sig, or something. I don't know.
I
Be
like
cute.
my way of not trying too hard. This isn't a fancy production. I'm not trying to look professional. I like having all my shit back here that you guys can just see. So anyway, that cleaned out really quickly. So that was nice, and it was a little shocking how quickly we got things ready for photos. But
Yeah.
I am no longer sleeping on a flattened out futon. I am fully committed to literally just sleeping on a couch. For the showing tonight, for example, all my blankets are probably going in my dad's car. I don't have a room. I do not. My bedroom is currently an office in use even, and my closet is now just like the office is just literally my closet as well.
It's a
Like
clothes
it
hamper.
has its
So-
own closet.
The house that y'all have chosen that you're getting keys to and stuff. What's the layout like for that as far as your space and stuff?
So I should have a 12 by 14 in the basement with a view of the river in the backyard. I
Very nice.
am hyped. That is gonna be such a
Okay.
good deal. I mean,
And what about my room?
you would probably be upstairs. You can either have the
Uh-huh.
one with the view of the front, or you could also have a view of the river in the back. That's I'm assuming you're I'm assuming you and it's not even like a creek or a cute little thing. It's like well, I guess it could be a creek, but it's quite literally a river that's named a river.
That's nice.
So like we have a creek near our house, but it's called a creek. But I don't know what the difference is. Like, what makes they're both
The size of it generally, and how fast it's flowing.
I mean, the ditch behind my house turns into a creek when it's hurricane season and we get a lot of rain.
My road
like
out front
my
is
yard
the same
turns into
thing.
a pond during hurricane season.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
God, I
don't know.
can't wait to be the fuck out of here and not
I
have
think-
to worry about hurricane season.
Yeah.
I wonder if the flowing speed is a difference too, because like when we looked at the house, like it was flowing. Like that's a river. You don't go swimming in that. The creek near me, there are slow and fast spots where you could waddle in, and people do, and it gets pretty thin.
You can catch crayfish in it.
Yeah. We saw a snapping turtle the last time we were down there. That was
That's
pretty
fun.
cool, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I'm nervous because I haven't mentally laid out my room, but 12 by 14 is like a lot bigger of a space than 12 by 14 suggests. Like, unless you've been looking at houses or you are somebody who's measured a room recently, that's a good like this room. When we cleaned it out, I was like, holy shit, this place is
12
huge.
12 by 14 is the room I'm currently in. Yeah.
But this room, like, with how huge, I was amazed. It's only like 15 by 11. So I'm like, okay, so this room is deceivingly large when it's emptied out. Like, you could like properly set up VR type shit. You know, you could set up a where you move around a lot when this room is cleaned out. And I'm like, I'm gonna have my own room down there.
Could
in the
basically
basement,
be
just
a
like
living room.
It essentially is like that TV. There's that's what I've loved about this space, and what I've tried to find in a new house is we have like a huge room. Like there's a whole other half to this. It's all tile. And I have the carpeted area with my desk, bed, TV, but like no closet or anything. So it's like a half bedroom, but it's all in one area. So to have that downstairs would be cool, and a pool table right outside the room will be fun. That was a deal breaker with my dad and I. Like, his top priority was sorting by houses with a view and a basement large enough for a pool table. He grew up with one, and I love the game. And so he and I are both just like together on this idea that we need, if we're gonna move anywhere, if we don't have a pool table in the basement, then what has this all been about? What are we doing this for? And we kind of settled. I think the basement is a couple feet shorter than a pool table would be comfortable in, but unless the cue ball is right up against the edge, we should have about 4 feet of clearance on either side of the table, which, to those who don't play pool, it should be doable. Yeah, like we might have a short stick for when it's up against the edge, but that shouldn't be a regular necessity. We should be good. 4 feet either side is plenty of space. It's just under what you want. I don't know. I'm all excited. The numbers are...
when I'm at the bar and I don't want to talk to somebody.
And that's something I might do. Like, I could find myself in a lot of evenings just throwing on the TV to whatever show, which will be in plain view of the pool table, and then just play pool. Yeah, I mean, no opponent, just all colors are mine. Just
you gotta get like some neon signs too to really bring
Oh,
the
yeah.
atmosphere.
yeah, 100%.
That'd be nice.
Get some Selena Gomez posters up.
Yeah. And your giant
That was a big
mouse
one.
pad or
You'll notice
something.
that it's just off frame for the actual show, but you guys in Discord can see the table is very clear. It's just a wooden table now. Selena had to be rolled up and set aside. We figured for showing that might not be and my wallpapers here, I can actually
You might get somebody that's interested because of it. You don't know.
here, I
Like we
can
want the
even
house and the mouse pad.
I can even show my wallpaper now is not Moxie right now. Yeah.
What a shame.
No.
Just in case somebody
that
bumps one of my mice, maybe that'd be a little unprofessional. Where, so I made it like Modern Warfare 2, just an angle of, I believe that would be.
So what defines
the east side
professional, though?
Yeah.
My husband is
Rundown.
very professional. He's,
If you're the
he's
guy
a
who
senior
designed Moxie.
NCO. Right. He's senior NCO. His background is Zelda. Like,
Yeah.
But
and
it's
like mine is Little Mermaid, and we are adults. We are
Yeah,
professional.
but it's not
viewers.
cleavage.
I mean, is that like a work
Right.
computer though that he has that on?
hey, if I had any other Borderlands
You know,
picture,
he has
no
it
problem.
on
But it's
his
Moxie.
computer at
Okay.
work too.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I just
Depends on
well-
what you can get away with.
a lot when you're highest ranking in the shop.
Yeah.
I saw it come through in the chat on the side over here. There, a couple of people are really interested in hearing about this whole interaction that I had recently in the Discord. If y'all are all right with it,
Are
I'm
you
going
ready to get into that
this.
now?
Yeah, I
Boy.
think I'll dig into it just for a bit, real quick.
Yeah, I'm curious.
So, to explain to anybody who's watching that doesn't really understand what goes on in our Discord, there's a link down below. You're welcome to join our Discord. We have a handful of channels that are dedicated to the game Fortnite, and we have certain channels that are for certain things. Like the Storm King Help channel is for getting help with the Storm King. We had a guy join the Discord about a week ago. He asked for help for the Storm King in the wrong channel and was told to ask in the Storm King channel that day. And he
Reasonable.
asked in the Storm King channel, perfectly normal. And then he didn't say anything else for about 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
Like no interaction whatsoever that I could find. I searched all through the Discord for it.
Mhm.
And then he started asking again yesterday. And he got, I guess, ignored, and then came to the regular Save the World general chat channel and asked for help, and people told him to go ask in the Storm King Help channel, where he should be asking. If he's looking for help for that particular
This
thing,
is
go to
playing
that
out like
particular
one
channel.
of those documentaries on YouTube where they just follow
Yeah,
one
well-
guy's trail through the internet.
Yeah, well,
I'm
that's
just
what I
waiting
did,
for
is
what
I had
was
to,
so
I had
unique
to,
about this
I had
guy.
to sleuth it out a little bit.
Yeah,
okay, so,
I want to.
yeah.
I want to know where this is going.
Yeah.
All right, so there's
It seems pretty normal.
there's
so
one
far.
here where the guy says I need help with this, but nobody helps in that channel. And I said, well, sorry, but be patient. He was told to be patient,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And then where is it down here?
Because sometimes people do talk in that channel, and some people just get lost in the weeds. You know, you send
Yeah.
a message in between two conversations, and then it just rides all the way up the
Yeah.
chat, and nobody ever sees it.
Well, there's a point here where he says I need help with the Storm King in Save the World chat, and Escobar says Storm King help. That's all he says. And the guy comes back and says those fuckers don't do shit. That's his response. And Escobar says calling them fuckers won't get you anywhere with that attitude.
Yeah.
You know,
Donna had the same reaction my mom
Yeah,
would have,
pretty-
and that's from like, yes, mom, you must be new to the internet.
Yeah,
These
pretty
things
simple.
escalate quickly.
yeah. And then Escobar says be respectful and be patient. And the guy says no, just flat out.
Okay, well then, fuck you.
Basically, this is the point where it's like, well, hey, how about go fuck yourself? Yeah.
I like it when they get mad. It's like, what, do they just owe you a run? I mean,
Yeah, no. And I'll get into that too.
Okay.
Later, the guy says, I need help, but people don't help in that hashtag. And,
Untrue, by the way, chat.
yeah,
Yeah.
And it's
I
just,
see people get
kind of
help all
ignored
day.
because he's already at this point irritated people by asking over and over in the wrong channel.
Sure.
And then he says, they called me fat because I asked. And that's where I decided I'd step in and be like, wait, what? Because I don't know if anybody really knows about this. There's a handful that do. But I've been a big proponent of not harassing each other over power level and stuff like that in that channel
Yeah.
specifically. Like if somebody who's a lower level comes in and asks for Storm King run help and people start harassing them for being low level, I will remove those people who are harassing that person.
Damn.
Yeah.
I don't put up with that bullshit. I am so sick and tired of people giving lower power levels a hard time just for asking.
You are
You know?
welcome to
And the
say
lower-
no, just like they are
Yeah.
welcome to ask.
The
But
lower
you are
power
also
level
welcome to
is-
not say anything at all.
That's true. It's very
just because
easy.
I'm not very involved in Fortnite. The lower
Sure.
power level just means that they haven't played the game for as long as the higher
Well,
power
the
level.
tricky part is the Storm King is a very end game. The Mythic Storm King is
Okay.
very end game. That is like,
Yeah.
if you go through
Yeah.
all the lower challenges, working your way all the way to the highest level, it's up here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now,
Okay.
if you're not a 122,
understand.
that's the number, or higher, people just kind of get iffy about that. So if power level
Yeah.
60 asks for help, it's going to be a hard carry. That guy's not going to be doing anything in that fight.
So, but I totally understand that, and I fully respect that. But there are some people who are like 131 or whatever who are full willing and happy to carry a level 60,
Yeah.
Okay.
just to be able to be like, hey, I got that guy a weapon,
Easy
you know,
peasy.
and it doesn't hurt them to come in and go, hey, do you think I could get a run? Now, if you're going to sit there and spam the chat over and over and over, give me a run, give me a run, give me a run, like somebody owes you something, then no,
Yeah.
you know. But if you just come in and ask, and people are like, you're power level 90, fuck you, and you're an asshole about it, then you don't belong there, you know. Anyway, so beyond all that, I thought that was what had happened with this guy, so I stepped in to address the issue. I told him, well, be respectful, be patient, and we'll see what happens. I looked through the chat. I saw nothing having to do with anybody even talking back to him in the Storm King chat, right? And I got a DM from him, and it was him saying something to the effect, here, let me, real quick, I'll just give you the quick gist. Telling me to be patient when I've been waiting here for about a week. One, he hadn't been here even a week. He'd been here 5 days, which okay, I'll give him that one.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting here, he hadn't been here every day. He hadn't been checking in. He hadn't been asking. He asked once 5 days ago.
I want to jump on that and say that you can't just wait. Like, the cooldown for a message is about when it goes off the screen. At that point, no one's going to dig up and hunt you down. That's never going to happen.
Correct. Then he says, they messaged me calling me a fat Nazi. He added Nazi to this now. Not just fat, but fat Nazi.
Called him fat. Did that even happen?
I'm getting there.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I told you not to lie about being called fat and not to call people fuckers because you didn't get free help. That's what I told him. And he says, how do you send pictures? I'll screenshot a DM. I said, screenshot it and drag and drop it here. He says, what do you mean drop? And I realized, oh shit, he's on mobile. So I actually told him, you know, I told him how to do it on mobile. He says, all I'm saying is you're saying it's free, but none of your workers actually help.
What?
Workers.
Worker?
I have a decent reason to be mad. Entire server is ass. And
The whole server now.
Wait. I said, wait, no one here is my worker. They are players helping each other.
This is a community.
And he says, so are you the admin? Because I can tell there's certain people in here that try and be the boss. And I said, I'm an admin. And he said, and I made a very clear distinction, an admin. And there's many people spamming and cussing, and y'all don't do anything to them. Why would anyone care? And I said, why would anyone care about cussing? He says, because when I get mad because they called a fat Nazi. I said, I don't believe you were. He says, you banned me for saying fuckers. I said, I never banned you. He said, well, somebody did. And I said,
So
oh, you
mad,
mean
but
muted
nothing
you?
happened.
I said, oh, you mean muted you? And he did get muted, but that was because he kept going after people told
There
him
is
to
a
just
distinction
stop.
between swearing and swearing at somebody. Big difference.
No,
Me going,
swear
"Oh,
at people.
shit,
Swear at
something
people happens all the time.
And
Swear at people happens all the time. He was told to use the proper channel for Storm King stuff, and he just kept on saying, no, I'm not going to that channel. Fuck that channel. So it was like, okay, fine. You can't use any of the channels. And he got muted. Anyway. And he says, because the people in there called me a fat Nazi and I didn't want to talk to them, and is that a real reason to mute someone? And I said, I've still seen no evidence that anyone has called you
bringing it
this,
up.
and I still don't believe it happened. And he says, I'm going to try multiple ways to send a screenshot.
All right.
And this is, I reiterated, you're on mobile. This is how. And he says, give me a second. All right. Now, look, note the time there. I just sent the screenshot to you guys. Note the time there, 6:33 p.m. to 6:46 p.m. That's 13 minutes of time. And I finally said, how about this? Just tell me the name of the person that DM'd you and called you that, right? And then another 15 minutes goes by.
Nearly
Right?
half an hour now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he sends me a screenshot. All of it, if you look at the time in that screenshot, all of it between 7:01 and 7:01. This is after the interaction could have possibly happened.
right.
That he's claiming this person called him a fat Nazi and stuff. he created a fake account, had it join Minerva, and then used his own fake account to talk shit to himself to back up his lie.
You can see the 701 in his message.
Scroll a little further. Right below that, he says, "My phone died." But
That's
anyway,
much
why the
effort.
fuck do people like these work for you? And I said, that person didn't exist on Minerva until literally 1 minute ago. How stupid do you think I am?
Like, we can see this.
What is
We
he
have
getting
object
from this?
permanence.
Right.
And he said, I think you're stupid for making that guy a worker. Yes, I think you're a dumbass getting racists to work for you. Well, I think you're getting banned for being a lying piece of shit. Like,
He's so hostile. Who hurt him? Who did anything to this guy?
nobody. That's
He
the
just
whole
made
point.
all
He
of
thinks
this
that
up.
we're workers, and he's a Karen.
I just
Fair
don't
point.
get it. Like he would refuse to ask for help in the proper place. Two, when he didn't get the help that he thought he deserved somehow, apparently for free, fucking got mad about it, and then lied about being called some racist shit. Like,
I
are
always
you
love when
fucking
race
kidding
gets
me?
brought into it. Like anybody, like nobody here
Fuck
can
outta
see
here.
you. Why is that
Yeah.
a thing?
Right.
Yeah.
The
Regardless.
only
But yeah,
people
the
that
whole
anyone
interaction
knows
ended with me banning
100%
him.
what they look like is us.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, and I saw that earlier where people were talking about how I look good and everything. Thank you. I appreciate that.
The complaints I see when people say, "Oh, I can't get help. Nobody helps in your channel," is just so ridiculous to me. I mean, I see people get help all the time.
That's the other part of it. Is he actually in the middle of all that? I skipped over it because it wasn't really important to the story or whatever. But he talked about how nobody says thank you and stuff.
Totally
That's
untrue.
just flat out bullshit.
I get comments on my
Yeah.
videos and streams from people who are like, "Hey, I got help from this really nice person here, here, and here." I've had at least 3 different people.
Thanks for
at
leaving a
different
comment
times tell me.
card.
I love those comments. People are like, "Wow, I
this
joined
is-
the Discord and people are really nice." I'm like, "Great, you've
Yeah.
balanced out quite a lot of complaints I've heard."
I have to go pick
That's
up
a-
my car, so it's going to be chair stream for me, and I'll be back.
Oh,
Tell her
how
we said
fun.
hi.
I will. I'll tell my car that you said hi.
Okay. It's important
But no,
that you do that.
Just imagine the
It
husband sitting down
absolutely-
and
It absolutely just kills me
With a wig.
that people think for one, they think I'm that stupid.
the
And for two, that-
extent he went.
Yeah.
For
He
what?
went to so much effort to back up his lie when he could have just been like, man, I was just mad. You know?
Very nice. Yeah, that's a little ridiculous that he went to all that effort, but not enough effort to change the times in like Photoshop or something. Yeah, I don't know. That's a difficult thing to
That
kind
really
of.
did have to be a friend.
There were some logical leaps that were.
No,
Not made.
that account did not exist until
Yeah,
like he created that to make that happen.
yeah.
Shocking.
That's beyond me how much effort went into just perpetuating the lie.
Every day
I
on the
just don't
internet,
I don't get it.
I see another thing that pushes my bounds of what I thought was possible on the internet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
And it's
elaborate
impressive
on
how many
that.
times I've had that bar get moved.
Now, I'm gonna clarify real quick. I know I come across as an asshole a lot of times in those channels. But there are a lot of people who act like they're just flat out afraid to talk if I even type in one of the channels, shit like that. That's completely unnecessary. I'm not a mean person. I'm not a hateful person. I hate that fucking game. Yeah. But I'm not going to be an asshole just because you're a Fortnite player
It
or
might be that
something.
because you're
You're
not
there-
a Fortnite player. If Sig is ever even typing in one of those channels, usually it's because somebody fucked up.
Well, no. I've
No?
tried to be more. No, I've tried to be more community
It's good to balance that out.
relations.
Yeah.
Because I know I come across that way, and I'm trying to be friendly in the channels and talk to people here and there. And I'm getting that from some people. They're like, "Oh man, Sig's great," you know. But every now and then there's somebody at least that's like, "Oh fuck, Sig's talking. I better shut up," you know. And it's like, what? I didn't. You're not doing anything wrong. Why are you scared? You know, like fuck.
I used to
Yeah.
get that way
Yeah.
with moderators and streams. You see that little wrench or that sword on Twitch, and you're like, oh shit. Because I am an edgy / trolly kind of person, so I'm always like, oh god, now I gotta watch what I say. Here we go.
Yeah.
You know.
But no, I have good reason for being as salty as I am sometimes, and it's kids like that DM situation that just
Yeah.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? You know.
So why are you like this?
Has it gotten better recently? I feel like we've had less of those insane cases.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of the people.
Would you
'cause
say it's leveled off?
uh,
Or
So
No.
I guess I can start from the beginning there. We're like, to those watching in the future, if you're watching old podcast episodes from years from now, or if somebody's just uninitiated, we've had about going from 3,000 to 9,000 members in about a 6-month span. About
huge jump?
like
Yeah. It's
right,
been-
Sig?
it's
We were
been a
about
rush.
3K around Christmas,
Yeah,
so
no, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
about
Yeah.
6,000 people joined our Discord in about the last 6 or 7 months. That's a lot for a Discord. For anything, that's a lot. But for a Discord, which is a hard to discover thing, it's either word of
Yeah.
mouth or my YouTube channel. There's not a lot of other traffic sources. That's a lot. So there were a ton of people just Wild West. I mean, they didn't know how to act. The moderators were new to their jobs. They didn't know how to really handle that. But a lot of that's kind of burned off. A lot of the thousands of those people who still use the
Yeah.
server are more aware of what's going on, have a better understanding of how things go. So it's
Nothing's
a
run.
lot more self-policed nowadays. And
Yeah.
I think
Well, I worry about that too, because some of that self-policing that happens is other players and other users that can be a little more gruff or a little more.
some of it's bad.
rude.
But like you said, the
Yeah.
2 times he asked in the wrong channel, both times somebody told him where he could ask. So like it just kind of
Yeah.
corrects itself a lot as it goes. It's not perfect and it never will be. But I see this a lot in like more developed streamers chats where my channel went from about 10,000 to 35,000 subscribers in that span. And that's about 25,000 people who don't know how things are done around here. So my chat has it's gotten a little bit better recently, but there are still a ton of times when half of my chat is brand new to the stream and they're just saying random shit, asking me for this or that, or blah, 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 blah. And I
Yeah.
see that in a lot of older streamers where like most of their chat is not new to the stream, where you just don't get a lot of that crap. Like I've been hanging out in Tic Tac streams a bunch when he plays Fortnite. Very rarely does anybody ask to play, ask to join, ask to add him, ask for storm, anything. Like it's quite uncommon. Whereas that's 20% of my chat easily, and 20% of my chat means I get asked probably 100 times a day. No, that's a low estimate. I don't get 1,000 messages a stream. It's more like 7,000. I don't know. It's a lot, but it's gotten a lot better in the Discord. That's my point.
I'm sorry, but I keep looking up, and both of you
Yeah.
are wearing your blue Minerva shirts.
We've been matching this
And
whole
it's so
time.
adorable.
Yeah, Siggs was
Thanks.
Siggs wasn't
Oh,
clean.
we were
I
talking
want to
about
talk
that.
about it, shirt, but
Yeah.
no, I don't have my Minerva merch on right now, and I kind of feel bad about that because it's in the laundry. But yeah, merch.minerva.gg, right?
Michelle is halfway to becoming a successful female Twitch streamer. He's
Yeah,
got his
just need
cat
some like
ears.
oatmeal.
The
Just
long
eat
hair.
things on stream. Yeah.
He's got his cat ears, his long hair. He's already halfway with the name. All he just needs to start going by his shell. And
Yeah.
his-
I mean, it's gonna work out. I'm not gonna shave my beard though. It's gonna be confusing.
When am I streaming Fortnite? Well, that's funny because yesterday was meant to be like the non-Fortnite stream, but there was a Pokemon Go community today from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., which happened at the exact same time as taking pictures for the house listing today. So by the time all of that was said and done, it was like 5:36 in the afternoon, and it wasn't
Yeah.
technically too late for a stream, but I was exhausted. So it
Yeah.
just didn't happen. And neither did a video for that matter. Because a video is another thing. When I spend all day doing house crap and Pokemon, the last place my mind is a Fortnite thing. That's a gear that's hard to switch for me. So I just didn't end up making a video because I gotta be in a certain headspace. And it makes the videos better. I remember a lot more about specific attributes of a weapon when I'm in the zone. A lot of times if I just
Yeah.
talk about a weapon, I upload the video and find out I forgot a thing. But I get any good ghastly. I had 100% max level ghastly that I was ready to level 35. That's the highest you can find in a wild. So that was like the golden ghastly to level up for the event, and like 20 shinies, which is a ton for me or anybody playing on one account at home, mind you. I wasn't driving around finding them. 20 shinies at home, and even when we went out, all of the ghastly came from my incense, which means I would have gotten them at home anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, a friend of mine posted her ghastly collection on Facebook, and she had like 12 of them, and I was like, huh, Pokemon Go. I forget that that's a thing sometimes, but it's a thing.
Who's
Yeah. So,
Bogey.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Am I complaining?
are you talking about the ghastly? No, I'm not.
No,
saying
somebody
that.
in chat says Gotti complains. I hope they're not talking about me. I was like, what?
No,
Did it sound like I was
No.
bitching?
no.
No.
It's just been busy, and that's hard to say.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were just in a public chat for a little bit for some Pokemon stuff right before the podcast.
Oh
And
yeah, that was
you're
another
talking
thing.
about how it was just
The
kind of
45 minutes.
a management issue of trying to get everybody together, and I likened it to herding cats.
I love this. Pokemon Go is dead. I swear people played it 4 years ago. Well, yeah, that's when it came out, so they would have been playing it
Yeah.
4 years ago. And
Do
the
you
thing
remember
about
that
it,
huge rush of people that
Oh,
were
yeah.
just like going crazy for it? That was like a surreal time for the internet.
we are
yeah.
far from its heyday.
Right now,
but it is
what you
not
have is
dead.
the real players.
It is
Yeah.
not dead. There are so many. Yeah, the real players are who are left. Like, it's rare for me to join in a raid with somebody I meet out and about and have them not be level 40. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
wow, you must be new. You're a level 37.
How long have
Like-
you been here?
And
Yeah.
the thing is, I'm not kidding, because like level 40 is 20 million XP, but a lot of the guys I play with have like 100 million XP. Like they've hit 45 times. Like
Wow.
hardcore players are what is left, and I love those kind of people because I'm a hardcore player in any game I play. Any game I play seriously, I should say. Oh my
Yeah.
God, Epic Games finally started showing your playtime again. Apparently, they never lost track. I am just over 4,000 hours in Fortnite, which is so fucking much. It is
A lot of Fortnite.
so much more than I thought it would be. This thing is so disappointed. Now remember, the entirety of like my Call of Duty childhood, which gives me those target practice flick shots that you guys see on stream, that was about 5,000 to 6,000 hours of my childhood. So the fact that I'm coming up on that, so it should just be in the Epic launcher. I think I can show it. Yeah, they started rounding again. Look at this. It says 6MO. No, this did say like 130 days or something. I don't remember exactly, but it came out to 4,000 hours, and that was
Wow.
so there had been estimates on other websites where it was like 1,000 hours, 2,000 hours, but we didn't know which of that was Save the World and which of that was et cetera, et cetera. So like that was a wake up call. Now you never know. You never know just genuinely how much playtime you have. I don't know if they're counting in menu time. I don't know
Yeah.
if they're counting only battle royale in game. So like Call of Duty, for example. I only ever actually had like 12 to 1,500 hours played, but that was only being ticked up on the counter when I was in game running around in a match. So that's why I say 5,000, because Steam keeps track of that the same way. Like
Yeah.
Shroud doesn't have 8,000 hours in CS:GO. If you count actual play time, it's probably a lot less. So in Call of Duty, for example, it was like, if you count the menus and the fact that years of my life went towards it, I think 5,000 was a pretty good number. Anyway,
Yeah,
my point is,
There's a big discrepancy between the number of hours in a chair in front of CS:GO versus actual gameplay.
and I like to count the bigger number simply because A, it's bigger, and B, just because I'm in a menu doesn't mean I'm not playing. I'm editing classes. I'm talking to my friends. We're experiencing the game even if we're not specifically in a match. So, anyway, with Pokemon Go, which is where I was going with that, it is not a dead game. So, yeah, I got a bunch of shinies. That was fun. That was a good time. And playing Pokemon Go and Fortnite, it tired me out, and my brain was not or playing Pokemon Go and moving. My brain was not in
Yeah.
the headspace to make a Fortnite video, and that's happened a bit recently. Where like if I'm not streaming or something, it's hard to shift gears. It's
Yeah.
tough. It's a whole different mentality to make a video. Like, I know on the one hand,
Yeah.
it's only 8 minutes of my day to sit down and record a video, but that 8 minutes is just flushing out everything I know about a weapon in a coherent manner in the span of a video in a watchable format. It's not
Yeah.
that easy. It's not as simple as it sounds. So yeah, and I've noticed in videos where I kind of half-assed it, I forgot a thing, or I, you know. You
But
see
most of
me-
the information is there, so I mean, it's still a usable source of information for
It is.
anyone stopping
Yeah.
by and finding out about something.
I don't.
So
don't. What?
I was pulling up my playtimes for various
no.
things on Steam. So my most played game is Don't Starve Together, just because I AFK skin drops in that game.
Oh.
That's why you always see me in Don't Starve Together. I'm not actually playing Don't Starve.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of hanging out, just collecting skins until I do eventually get to play, and those will be eventually useful to me. Then is regular Don't Starve. That one has like, wait, did I even say what?
No,
how
you
many
didn't
I
say
got?
how many hours.
Oh. Okay, I have 1,061 hours in Don't Starve Together.
Even AFK, that's so much.
Yeah. It's a lot of AFK time. And then 821
I've
hours
seen
in
it.
regular Don't Starve. Binding of Isaac, 512. Fallout 4, 406. Elder Scrolls Skyrim, 260. Stardew Valley, 132. And
Yeah.
I don't know where I can find... I know Minecraft like changes the... I don't know. There's been like some
that's different
updates.
from world to world. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It really, I don't like how it's world to world. It should just be your account. That'd be
yeah.
easier.
You should be able to at least go to Mojang and see how many hours
Yeah.
you've spent in worlds.
Yeah. Maybe
Ask her
like,
They make you connect to them every time you want to play anyway. So
Here, I'll link it
Yeah.
in chat. This is the only video where I've ever properly scripted any part of it. And that's because there was a lot to say, and I wanted to be very careful about how I said it, and it was a very,
Yeah.
very quick video, you might have noticed. And
this was the video I subscribed to you on.
What?
Yeah.
This was 10 months ago only.
Oh,
No.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
this-
It was the wrong furnace array. My bad.
Right, yeah. Because
You
this
have
was like the
several
way after the fact update to it to fix it for 1.14.
Never mind.
No, it's okay. Yeah, that video, it's just because there was a lot to say. And even then, it was like rough script. It was like certain portions that I was slipping up on a lot. Other than that, every
Yeah.
single video on my channel has bullet points at most. And frankly, I don't even use them half the time. It's like the Metal Team Leader video. I made bullet points for that. I'm glad I did. That video got 70,000 views. I wanted to have my ducks in a row. Even then, it got lost behind some other tabs, and then I finished the recording and was like, oh shit, yeah, I had a list, huh? It's like, oh. And then I read
And it's
through it,
good-
was like, oh, we're good, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Looks like we're taken care of. No. Yeah, I don't script them.
Speaking of scripts, Southern has been working
Yeah?
on some YouTube videos, and him and I have kind of gone into a joint venture on this.
Been hearing about this
Nice.
for weeks now. Do we have any progress on
Yeah.
anything real happening?
He has written scripts
Okay.
for probably 30 videos,
Nice.
and they're all about a minute to a minute and a half long is what he's shooting for
Okay.
of
Short.
of actual read time.
Yeah. That's not bad.
And I've been doing a lot of proofreading and rewording so that they flow better.
Yeah.
I've been helping him with the grammar and the spelling and all that crap.
Yeah.
But I've also been doing some of the reading, so I had to learn a little bit to be able to
Okay.
use Audacity, and I still haven't worked that out. Beast. I tried to fix the background noise, and I just don't know other than turning off my air conditioner and my fan in the
Yes.
room and trying things
Turn
like that.
all that shit off while you're recording.
You can make it quiet, but you have to sweat a lot.
Like even right now as I'm talking, you'd have to be listening closely, but I do have a big fan blowing pretty much
Yeah.
at me, but it
Yeah.
shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
Nobody ever
But,
complains out here.
I have to re-record, but I have edited and proofread and everything at least 5 different little scripts and everything having
Yeah.
to do with how to download Minecraft, how to buy Minecraft, things like that. This is
Oh, real videos.
he wants to
That's awesome.
start this from the very beginning
Holy
all
shit.
the way through every single aspect of Minecraft, every block, every
Yeah.
option in the options menu, all the things. He wants to do a little 1-minute videos on all of it, 2 minutes tops, something like that. So
Are you gonna
when we get
group
to that point,
blocks?
huh?
Are you gonna group blocks like sandstone? Are you gonna keep all the slabs and stairs within
certain
the...
blocks. Certain
Okay.
blocks will have to be grouped.
Because you guys scare
just
me every time you say that. Every block in the game,
Yeah,
I'm like, do you
well,
have any idea what you're getting
stone
into?
brick and stone brick slabs and stone brick stairs. You're not going to do 3 separate videos for. You're
Is
gonna
this
do
for
said every
modded
block.
Minecraft that you were doing?
Huh?
Are you making those specific types of videos for modded Minecraft?
Oh, just
Or-
Minecraft, just as the base game.
Modded,
Okay,
you'll be never
okay.
to be done.
As I was about to say,
Vanilla Java Minecraft, but
Yeah.
we will address some of the installation stuff and things like that for mobile
yeah,
users and for stuff like that.
okay,
But yeah, there's a lot to be done.
yeah,
And he's planning on being able to put out, a year worth of videos, daily videos of 1 minute each. You know what I
That
mean?
would be
So I mean,
so exciting to have a year's
Yeah.
worth of videos done. Oh,
right? And the concept is that we can put together a month worth of videos and record them all and everything within a couple of few days, and then just have it scheduled.
that's
when I did my
awesome.
Borderlands
Let the
series,
shit just-
famous for being seen by nobody, my Borderlands my series has like 20 views apiece. If you guys want to see some like unseen content, it's all been public forever, which is embarrassing in that respect. But I liked them. I commentated
Yeah.
the whole way. I had a good time doing it, and I don't think the videos were bad. It's just that nobody gives a shit about Borderlands, not at least when I posted it. So
Yeah,
that was a thing where I was like hard about 15 minutes. I didn't care what was happening. 15 minutes, I'd cut it to a point that kind of made sense. It'd fade out next episode. So I would sit there and play like 2.5 hours. And I'd have a week's worth of uploads just like that.
yeah.
And it was so, and the thumbnails was all I did was change the number. So I made thumbnails like 30 videos out. I hadn't even recorded them yet. I was like, well, let's just finish this out and see how many.
A while ago, that's kind of what I did.
Yeah.
I did a little
Okay, hit the
series
podcast
on
button.
Transistor, and I kind of did something like that where I just like edited like just my playthrough of it, and it was really pretty bare bones actually. I mean, just screenshots from my own playthrough. I didn't have any
That's
sort
what
of face
scares
cam
me.
or anything.
about Sig and Southern's plan here is like, I know it's easy to say you can plan a month out, but once you get to recording and properly editing that stuff, I don't know how
see,
easy
that's-
it'll end up being, but
I believe
I
in
do
them.
have a YouTube channel, but I don't have any content on it yet. I have plans.
my problem with planning a lot has been sanity too. I'll let
Yeah.
you finish your thought. I was gonna.
No,
Okay.
but
Go down a
as
whole
far
rabbit
as,
hole.
as
What?
yeah, as far as it goes though, Chriselle, were you finished with what you were saying?
Yeah, I am.
I'm sorry.
Generally,
As far as it goes though, with the planning aspect of it and everything, Southern can sit down and just do some walking around and showing a block for a 1 minute video. Dig the block up for a 1 minute video, and he can do clips out of 3 hours of gameplay.
Yeah.
Finding different blocks. He can just be like, all right, I'm going to look for this block, and do a time lapse till he gets that block to make it a 1 minute video or something. Shit like that. There's a lot of ways to handle it, and having replay mod is super amazing. I want to shout those guys out. Jesus, that is one of the best mods ever. But
I'll link to my
yeah,
playlist.
I look forward to.
What is
the-
this
I'm
sound
looking
like?
forward to watching that. Actually, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, I look
Let me
forward to
start
the
over. I think Sludge
product
had
actually
someone-
start rolling out. And I mean, if we can get to a point where we're able to put together a month's worth of videos over the course of a week, or 2
Yeah.
months worth of videos over the course of a week, Jesus, like, how great
And-
would that be?
You could even go past the scope of vanilla Minecraft itself, because there's a
eventually.
fairly
Yeah.
large audience. Like, well, I wouldn't say audience, but there's a fairly large like market per se in the modded part of it, where like there's a lot of undocumented like content that you could make on the wikis and such. Because a lot of them, it just is like, oh hey, here's this block. Who knows what it does, and that's it. I mean. And I would think a while ago, a lot of like creators were trying to make block by block tutorials for things like that for modded
Well,
types
I mean,
of
I know
Minecraft.
of a handful of YouTubers that do mod spotlights. And
Yeah,
they do,
yeah.
They do a run through of everything the mod provides and all the blocks that it does and how they interact with each other and how they interact with the vanilla items.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean that's absolutely a format that can be done. I enjoy that format actually. So I may do some of that on my own channel when I start making content. You know,
This was really weird
see.
That'd be
timing
fun.
for this because now I've just got an episode of that Borderlands series. I'm just playing it silently, and I
Yeah.
just started playing that game again yesterday.
Yeah.
Now whenever I'm relaxing, I'm just gonna play Borderlands again because that's a game I'll be replaying the rest of my life. I love this thing, but it's weird. I hardly even remember this series, but yeah, I don't know. And with the daily uploads thing, or not the daily, but like the scheduled, it's like the best perks videos, for example. I've been known, if I'm focused and in the mood, from start to scratch, getting gameplay, recording, editing, everything, thumbnail, can take 2 hours. It totally depends on the video, but it still takes about 2 hours for like an 8-minute clip, 8-minute video, because getting gameplay is 15, 20 minutes on its own. Actually recording the video, like I said, if I'm focused, that's about the runtime of the video. I don't usually cut out a ton, so it's like 8 minutes. Editing, holy shit. Cutting in, cutting out the gaps and whatnot doesn't always take that long, but moving what clip I need to where I need it to be as I go,
Yeah.
that is, God forbid I show my loadout. You know how it just slides up like that? It doesn't do that on its own. Takes me I have to redo that every time. I might make a template for that shit because I do the same thing every time, and it takes 2 to 3 minutes out of my edit every time. And
You can save that bit of time. It adds up.
I really should. It's just a basic keyframe, and I figured out how to swap footage and keep the keyframes, and it doesn't need to be as much effort as I make it. So my point is, if it takes me 2 hours of hard effort, that's where the sanity tends to go away, because conceivably, I could, on a non-stream day, just crank out 6 videos in a day. But I will have a significant lack of enjoyment. I would be an absolute robot doing that. I'd just be a machine working through those videos, and I don't know if the quality would suffer or not. It takes a lot of work, and the only time I've ever been able to make a bunch at once is when I didn't include gameplay, which was fun, just to record those and make a bunch of videos. But now my most popular Best Perks video is a Silent Spectre gameplay, where I'm essentially just talking over, or a Silent Spectre video where I'm essentially just talking over perks. Like, it's just not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
HP, you don't need to be deleting those. He's not asking anything out of the way. He's not doing anything wrong. I'm not actually crying. I have problems with my eyes right now because of allergies. That's all that is.
Yeah.
Why I keep wiping my eyes and stuff. That's just allergies.
Yeah.
I want
I
a
get my
series like
allergies
that
earlier in the year.
again.
It's not fun.
But like that Borderlands series just spammed my channel when I was making it. I uploaded that thing daily, regardless of what people said. It was like 20 views, 1,000 views, 20 views, 1,000 views, because I was doing like the Minecraft Minerva Ruby Center at the exact same time. So I basically had 2 thumbnails on my channel for like a month. It was either Ruby Center part whatever or Borderlands episode whatever. It was just, I didn't care. My whole channel was orangish yellow for a month, and I didn't give a shit. People complained, I didn't care. And it was a passion project. That's why it hasn't repeated. I exhausted myself and finished that game. And then, I got done.
Didn't not that long ago I made you a speed jog
Speed.
thumbnail for Borderlands?
Oh.
Right.
You weren't going to speed run it, you were going to jog it?
I was going to speed walk Borderlands.
Yeah, speed walk it.
I still think that'd be
Not
fun.
speed run, speed walk it. Just kind
That
of
would
jog.
be... That would just be a stream, I figured.
Yeah. You think you could get through the whole game in one stream?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I remember way back in the day, I had like a completed end game boss, all missions done, with like 10 hours on the save. And I was thinking, damn, I wasn't even trying to speedrun. I was like, shit. Maybe I could do this, Maybe I could... I don't know what I'd want to do. If I was properly speed walking, then I'd be going through the game as fast as I could, and it's not a speed run because I don't have a route or anything. I'm just going.
Yeah.
And what I would try to do...
You're not screwing around just rerunning one boss over and over trying to get some extra stuff or anything.
No,
You're
we're just going through the game as intended. And the thing is, I've always been a 100% player, like the secret missions and everything. But I can totally understand how maybe it'd be a lot faster for me to skip some of those missions. Maybe it'd be more fun for me to do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Leighton, just don't, just because you delete your messages doesn't mean we see you. You can get a timeout easily. Yeah, that's a fun game though. I've been playing that in my free time because it's like watching The Office. It's like there's nothing about Borderlands that I don't already know about. Like I'm not gonna skip a cutscene and go, wait, what did he say? I could just play it and then stop playing whenever I'm done. And I don't know. I've been recreationally gaming again, and that's a weird thing for me to admit because I've streamed or recorded about 95% of my gaming sessions for like 4 years now.
Yeah.
So it's weird for me to just enjoy a
Relax.
game again.
Yeah.
It's not something I do. I'm always working, or I'm thinking about working. Last night, I didn't rest very well because I had this annoyingly convincing dream that the Art Deco llamas came out again. And I remember getting a DM about it, and then checking it out, and then hearing about it, and then waking up and then believing it and then deciding to go back to bed like screw it, I'll do it later. And then when I finally got up, I was like, wait, that was a dream, right? Like it was shocking. That dream went straight to the truth center of my brain. I was 100% convinced that the Art Deco llama was re-released while I was asleep. It was like I was aware that I was asleep, dreaming about a thing that I thought was happening in real life. It was a very meta dream.
Lucid dreaming about a game update.
Pretty much, because I was actively waking up in real life and then going back down. It was Sig just timed someone out for saying hi. Did he?
I did not time him out for saying hi. I timed him out for the other part of it that he.
And he said
removed
hi,
the
dumb.
message.
Oh, he said hi and then ducks fuck. I misread that as dumb fuck, and then when he retracted it, I thought he was being slick. I don't care anyway.
Well, you said that's an easy timeout, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
And timed him out. I didn't even really read the message myself.
Well, it's funny because even though I misread it, he retracted it. So I'm like, well, how was I supposed to know? I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I made something cool on my printer.
What do you got there?
You may like this.
Was that a little?
So
fast?
this is a dice tower.
It is not.
It extends.
Ooh. You drop the dice into it, and they come out the bottom.
Yeah. I found this on Reddit.
Oh, it's a retractor. That's awesome.
Yeah. Let me lock it in place. So
That's the nerdiest thing
I know, it's so cool.
It's like those old,
So
like,
this is
it's like
actually
those
for
old
Dungeons
Boy
and
Scout
Dragons.
cups that you used to carry around.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And so this isn't a dice, but it basically just stick it down here, and it comes out the end, and it rolls the dice
I thought
automatically.
there'd be a little
for you.
ramp in there. Is there?
There is.
Oh,
There
you're
is a
just
small
holding
little
it
ramp.
weird?
Let me
Okay.
see if I can. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell. Okay, I actually have one that's taken apart because one of my coworkers who
awesome.
57 wanted one. And but basically it's got this little ramp right here. And not that age has anything to do with enjoying tabletop games or not, but And then this is like a little thing that's used to mix it up or whatever. It basically just lets the dice land on it. But it's
dice rolling
pretty cool.
fun. Wow. I mean, hey, I can totally imagine if whatever you're doing involves like a tower or some kind of attack on a tower. Rolling a dice through a little toy tower is like the most fitting thing I can imagine.
Think about it this way: like a lot of people, like they grab a handful of dice and they shake them and they throw them onto the table. And sometimes you have one that just rolls off the side of the table.
Sure.
Sometimes it gets legs and just gets gone. With the dice tower thing, it's a consistent rolling out right here in front of you every time. Is the whole point of it.
And it's cute.
And that saves you. Well, yeah, it's also a little bit of fun, but it saves you the trouble of not knowing where that dice went, or whatever, because it kind of fairly keeps them in one place.
You can totally just...
And it actually has like a little cup that catches it, and it also functions as a lid for it once it's closed.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's a pretty fun little print, and there's not actually like a lot of things that I can actually print on my printer just because it has only like a 110 millimeter build volume, and that's fairly small for pretty much everything.
Yeah.
But really, I'm just kind of limited to tiny little figures of things or whatever, little miniature.
Something about the size of your fist, really, at most.
I hate how
Basically,
fun that is. I want
I can
one.
make
I have
flower
no use for
pots.
it.
Yeah.
You should get one.
Grishel doesn't have a use for it either. He's doing it for fun.
I mean, I've made
He doesn't
some
need this
useful
thing.
things. Like these right here. These are mask clips that you basically get a little hair tie, stick those in between the two of them, and you can use it for face masks. So you don't.
Oh,
like,
that's
ruin
right. Yeah.
Did either of you
And
watch?
We talked about those before.
Yeah, we
Did
did.
either of you watch that 4th of July video Blob posted in Discord?
I don't think I did.
The
'Cause
4th of
I
July video, the blog post. Yeah, you saw I had a whole commentary about it afterward.
So it was 4th of July by All Gas No Brakes. I'm gonna link this in chat, but I probably won't show any of it. He was basically just filming on a beach in 2020. This was uploaded like the day it was recorded, April 18th, or well, I guess a couple weeks after then, obviously 4th of July. But it was uploaded just a couple of days ago, and it was just shocking. Just a beach full of people, not a mask in sight, and it was.
Except for on him while he's doing the interview and wrapped around his microphone.
That's smart. That's really smart, actually.
But it
No one
was.
spits in your mic.
It was.
Oh, this guy's trying to spit in the mic.
It was
Oh,
some of the
boy.
funniest commentary I've ever. I mean, this is like white trash America at its
Yeah.
finest, and it was. Oh my God! There should be no conclusions drawn of America from this subset of people because this is ridiculous.
That's exactly what I said.
I saw
Man,
you
such a-
battling
yeah.
battling Bob. Like this is
Such a small number of people out of the 340 million people in
Ridiculous.
our country.
He cut the super cut of he blurred the chick's face where she had 240,000 followers on TikTok and he must have said it 7 or 8 times. He just kept cutting in 240,000, 240,000. She has how many? 240, 236,000, 240,000, bro. And she's talking about how she likes to bring awareness to the issues and all the things going on in the world. And it's good that when you have an audience, you can share things. He's like, what are your top issues? She's like, oh, I don't know. There are so many. Top 3 issues, go. She's like, well, COVID, obviously, as she's maskless in a sea of people. And then he cuts away. Like, she couldn't think of you had one issue? You had one thing you could
weren't
list?
even doing well at
It
that
was
one.
just this guy captured gold. It was amazing. He goes to the lifeguard. He goes to the lifeguard and he says, "You expect it? How many people you think you're gonna? How many think you're gonna have to save today, or how many are gonna die today?" And she's like, "Oh, somebody always drowns on 4th of July." It's like, "Yeah, what about the other thing?" "What do you mean? Like the heat exhaustion?" He's like, "No, the other thing." What other thing? She goes, "What other thing?" No mask on her either. It's just like, what? No. How could people be so? I don't. Oh, that was one of the funniest videos I've seen in a while.
Have you heard of Jordan Klepper?
I've not.
Okay, he's like this talk show host that does something kind of similar to that. And
isn't he the guy who's in the memes right now that says blah blah blah, change my mind in front of the table?
No, that's what's his name?
Oh,
Steven Crowder. And
Crowder. That's that
him.
was what got me confused.
It's like on the different side of the fence than that guy. But yeah. Which, I mean, showing up at colleges to like debate like college students that are just walking down the sidewalk and don't have any particular position aside from, hey, what is going on in my English class in 101? Oh, I better turn in this paper. I don't think that really opens up a good like two-sided discussion of any sort. So
well, I don't know. A lot of the people he talks to seem like they think they're educated, and maybe that's his point. Where a lot of people think they know a topic, and then they talk to a guy who's quite versed on it.
I mean, you notice the cuts, and you notice that he doesn't really go about like he's holding the microphone, and he's not letting them finish sentences, and like he's speaking for them in ways that they wouldn't normally speak for themselves to defend what they believe in ways.
So, yeah.
A lot of those episodes are really long.
Letting them
You'd have to
thought out and stuff, making them
have to
look
really
stupid.
dissect it. Because the few that I watched seem fair. He let them get their counterpoints off. I don't know. I watched the one about a gun issue long ago.
Actually, that particular conversation there kind of segues into the topic that I brought up in the
your
chat
bias
before.
Conversation, bringing up like part of a topic and then trapping people.
Well, the way that the media biases things to make you feel a certain way about something, and the article I read, and I don't have the actual article. I could not for the life of me find it.
No way. I was just thinking about Donna in her chair. Wow.
I was hoping she'd be back to be able to.
I
be part of
can't
the
prove this,
conversation.
but I was literally just looking up at the chair, wondering, oh yeah, people have been asking about where she was.
Yeah.
Ta-da! She's back
Welcome
now.
back.
That's the
still
nanny
muted.
dog from Peter Pan, right?
That was
Still
spooky
muted.
timing.
You're muted.
Just thinking about
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
not
Nana.
muted.
Her name is literally Nana in the movie.
That's the Nana dog from
Yeah.
Okay. We were just now getting into the whole thing about using media bias that I posted in the text chat that we have.
HP, she's
The
almost 6 months.
article that I read had to do with just in this instance, it had to do with a photograph, and in the photograph you saw just a knife stabbing into another man, you know, and,
fun.
your immediate thought is, wow, that's murder, you know, and that's how the media portrays it. You know, they showed a hand pushing a knife into another person. Wow, that's murder, you know, and then it showed the exact same picture, but more of the picture, and what you saw was two soldiers fighting, and one was killing the other while the other was killing him back, basically.
Yeah.
You know,
Killing him
like
back.
it was two people fighting, and it was like, oh wow, okay, that's not murder, that's war. You know, so your perspective has changed just because you see more of the information. You know, and then you zoom out just a little bit further, and you see a director back there and a cameraman. And you're like, oh fuck, that's not even really war. That's just a movie being made. Those guys are friends, probably. You know, so your whole perspective has changed 3 different times from the same piece of information, just because you were only given part of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rather than given the full thing, you're being given just this little bit. And that image right there of the 6 versus 9 thing, and the other one that I posted of the guy in the desert island and the guy in the boat, you know, and they're, you know, it's all a matter of which way you're looking at it and how much of the information you have, and the media uses these kinds of things all the time. You know, you think, oh, you're looking in the newspaper and you see this article, you see this picture in this article, and you're like, wow, okay, well, you know, it's a picture of something. It can't be lied. It can't be fake. Yeah, it can. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, every bit of the information in that newspaper is biased in the way that newspaper wants it to be.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think an important part of that too is a concept of lying by omission. And
Yes,
like leaving
absolutely.
out certain parts of a story. They're like expanding a certain part of a graph or a chart, or like cutting off a 0 or something to show like a minimum amount and stuff like that. Lying by omission
I have a great example.
is a great point to that.
I've been getting
And-
recommended the John Oliver, like Last Week Tonight episodes on YouTube a lot. And say what you will about his stances, I think it's kind of comical and it's a fun little news source, but because he has his biases and whatnot. But one thing he talked about was like their episode was conspiracy theories this week, and people believing that you can get COVID from the 5G signals and shit. And they were citing, Donna's ready for this one. No, I'll debunk it immediately. It's awesome the way he showed this. He showed the COVID map and the 5G map and how they were almost identical. And then he's like, another one that makes a lot of sense is the population density map too. And he's
Look at that.
yeah, wow, it's the same. And maybe that makes a lot more sense than 5G spreading it. And he's like, just for kicks, here's the Domino's map as well. Correlates exactly.
There's a scientific
Location you can
phrase
get
for
Domino's
this.
pizza.
Yeah.
Correlation does not equal causation.
Yes, absolutely.
That's a big
You
one.
use this when forming theses and analyzing data. Correlation does not equal causation. Like he said, just because, the 5G, there's more corona there. That just happens to be where it's more populated. So obviously they got 5G first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that goes into confirmation bias, which I pulled up the wiki for this so I can read it off.
Look how educated.
Oh, I
the
love
wiki and
confirmation bias.
The tendency to search for, to interpret, favor, and recall information that confirms or supports one's prior beliefs or values. SIP.
Did you guys ever see that college humor skit
It was
of
empty.
like Google as a person and like
Yeah. I love
that.
those.
what was it? Vaccines cause autism, and he's like, I have 8 billion sources that say it does not. and one that says it does. And she takes
Like,
the one that
Give me
says,
the one.
I knew it.
Yeah.
That's
But see, that's
I remember
Yeah.
that
that's
exactly.
that's confirmation bias. If you
Yeah.
go looking for somebody
Yeah.
to confirm your belief, you'll find somebody.
And
But if you go looking for the actual information, sometimes it's been skewed a little bit. Sometimes it's been edited. Sometimes it's been pushed because people who write articles have their own belief systems and they add that in. Which people who take photographs, they frame that photograph when they take the photograph. You know, they frame it. They decided how much information they're putting on within the lens of their camera. You know, so that's already been edited. You know, even if they say, "Oh, this is raw. This is the absolute raw footage. Nothing has been edited. We haven't even taken off the scratches from the film. Whatever."
yeah.
It is because it's been edited by the guy taking the picture, pointing at the part he wanted to point at.
in the early days of the war, there was a picture that went around that was really exemplified this, and it was two versions and then the wider view. And the first one was a guy with a gun to the back of his head, like a rifle. It was a soldier and then like a prisoner, right? And then there was a second one, the same prisoner receiving a soldier like feeding him water.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you take the big picture, yes, it's a prisoner, but he's not being maltreated. Like the first one, you would assume, oh no, he's being maltreated. The whole picture, yes, it's a prisoner, but he is not being maltreated.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can even make it a little more relatable for people who don't know anything about war or anything like that. We all know the Marvel movies. You can look at any of the Marvel. You could, well, you know what I mean. You can look at any of the Marvel movies, like the big poster that shows, like in Endgame, like all the heroes or whatever, all fighting. And if you zoom in close enough that you only have Captain America in your frame, you think, oh, that's a Captain America movie. No, it's not. It's all these other heroes too, you know. So I mean, it's all about what part of the information you can see. It's all about what part of the information you've been given.
I've been dealing with this a lot with statistics recently and how they lie to you so easily. And it was like those Colgate commercials, for example, where, 8 out of 10 dentists recommend, whatever. They literally mean 8 out of the 10 dentists they asked.
They chose to
the 10 they asked. They only asked the 10. Yeah.
They're not rounding. They literally mean 80%. Or in the more extreme case, like 4 out of the 5 that they asked. And Choo and I ran into this with a weapon we were testing the math on. I said it was 19% better. He said it was 23% better. And we were both right. I can get into how that's possible if you want me to. But we were both technically right. I should say, because that's confusing. Meaning, if you add 23% of its damage, it gets up here. I was saying that if you divide the bottom by the top, it's 19% less from the top. So we were both right. It was 19% better and 23% better. But better, it depends on what you're referring to. He was talking about the bigger number.
6 and he was looking at the 9.
He was looking at the small. I was looking at the big. We were both right. But, oh, it's so confusing. It took me like a fat minute to digest that too. He and I were just in circles.
So anytime anyone tries to quote statistics at me, well, what's your source?
Yeah.
What was the size? What was the sample size to achieve this statistic?
So getting into what's important here is source, sample size, stuff like that for statistics. And then who is saying this and what exactly is their specific bias? And just for your own confirmation bias, what sort of sources are you looking for to basically confirm or deny whatever thing you're looking for specifically?
I had somebody tell me that one hero is better than the other in a commander in Fortnite, and then he gave me total DPS and total DPS. I was like, what was in your support? What weapon we're using? What were the perks? There is so much more that I need to unravel to even digest the number you just spit at me.
Yeah.
I guess complicated quick, because I'm like, Choo told me otherwise, and he did the math. Like, I spoke to him about it, so I know that it was done correct. Like, we had our ducks in a row. It's...
Yes, guys, the word is bias, B-I-A-S, bias. It means when you lean in a particular direction. You have certain thought process that colors the way you think about a certain thing.
Yeah.
In the
It's how
American
you-
legal system, they look for jurors who are unbiased. They don't care for or against. They're literally impartial.
Yeah. And that's one of those things, though, is you can't find that. That doesn't exist. A jury of one's peers, there's no one that's actually your peer. And there is no one that is actually impartial or unbiased in
They
any
do
way.
their
That
best.
doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But that's the truth. They do their best, but it's never enough.
Wasn't it like for the O.J. Simpson? It was damn near impossible to find someone who hadn't heard of him.
Because everyone.
That's another thing. I saw that when I was doing a little bit of research trying to put this together so that I could actually, follow up my thought process a little better. They had 2 different magazine covers from the O.J. Simpson time, like when that trial was all going on. And one of them making him out to be some, victim as well, and another one making him out to be the murderer, because it was during the trial. They hadn't proven or anything yet, and I don't know if they were both from the same magazine. I don't recall that specifically, but it had to do with the tagline on the front of the magazine being like victim, and one being like murderer, and the coloring of O.J. Simpson himself, like they made him physically darker on the one that said murderer and lighter on the one that said victim and stuff like that. And just easier to see. It made him look more sinister, not darker, like, oh man, he's blacker, but no. It made him look more vicious and more sinister. And they were basically the same picture of him, just, saturation and hue editing. And that's all it took to make him look more like, oh yeah, he probably did that. That was it. And that's media bias right there. And, that's one of those things that anybody can edit a photo to look the way they want it to look if they take the time and make the effort, And it's scary that there are so many things out there in the world that, and it happens with you, for instance, Beast. I'm sure you worry about this all the time, that, you stream constantly. And you have interactions with people all the time, and people say things to you and you respond to them. And if they just take the part they want to hear from that and clip that, it can make you look like a whole other person than you actually are.
I had a multi-message, multi-paragraph conversation with a guy who was convinced I was a racist because he had taken one thing I said out of context and just ran with it. Like the fact that I can find humor in lots of sources, apparently I was a racist. And I was like, I literally said I wasn't. Apparently that had less weight to you than, I don't know. It was a very...
Yeah.
I won the argument, but he still said that his mind was made up. And I was like...
Yeah, and that's where like Rochelle said, was confirmation bias comes in.
Oh, yeah. No, he had chosen and decided long before he started the argument.
He decided that, and he looked for the information that supported his thought process.
They're saying they remember, I posted this in Discord, so, people were aware of every word sent, and it was like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Come on. No, I was just blowing my own mind with, the Choo-Choo and I thing, where I took, 5 divided by 4, and how 4 is 25% better makes it 5, but it's also only 20% better if you look at it. I'm just messing myself up here.
Yeah.
I gotta stop. This happens a lot with weapons. It's very relevant to my day-to-day.
To double back real quick, that the population density matching up to the 5G and the coronavirus and whatnot. Parabola Panda is the one who sent me that XKCD comic that I sent in the chat.
Yeah.
And
I
love that's the exact same thing. You see it, Beast?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Population.
He sent me that, and that absolutely matches up with what you were saying. That it was just like, oh yeah, look at that. They just happen to match right up. It also matches up.
I have his book saved on my wish list I've had that on there for the longest time, and I've been slowly collecting some of my favorite comic book artists' books over time.
What is this comic even saying? Oh, pet peeve.
Oh, do you follow that at all? Beast?
Geographic profile maps, which are basically just population maps. Okay, that's what it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what you were talking about earlier, and
of course,
that
more
comic
people
exemplified it.
Search for that in that area because that's just where people live.
Are. Yeah.
Do you follow XKCD at all?
I don't know what that is.
Okay. It's
I love that
you're in
comic.
for a treat.
I haven't read a whole bunch of them lately, but I read a lot.
Yeah,
of them.
every now and then I
Weirdo.
just go up and try.
You end up in a rabbit hole.
Pet
Yeah.
peeve number 208. Does he literally have 207 more of these?
Oh no,
yeah.
that was.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there are thousands of comics, but not specifically 208 of pet peeves. No, that's a random number, I'm sure. But yeah, the whole website is just all comics of random things
Yeah.
like that. That
Chris,
are
you
just
just
they're
drop that in
great.
chat.
Oh, I should.
Yeah, just
Where is?
Oh,
I have so
and-
many tabs. This is my own fault.
I can do it.
Okay, you're better at dropping things in chat than I am.
I just right-clicked the link you sent in the chat there, and
I just
copied
have
it,
too many
dropped it in
tabs
this
and I mean the startup cost in and of itself would be pretty low for me just because I have a lot of tools and stuff that I can
completely
use
done.
for that.
I know.
Oh,
I killed
we
it.
have-
We should be okay now.
okay. That's good to know. Oh, live. Come on.
Should be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Probably.
one of the guys who was a part of the math on the Rex thing was coming in.
Yeah.
See, that's kind of what I suspected. Is he did the Fortnite math using only the 2 commanders, ignoring support, which doesn't necessarily. Oh wow, she just. The hell
That's
is happening
spooky.
there?
Oh,
Your
it,
camera
like,
just caught up
You
for
went
like
super
a minute.
speed.
it was
Sorry.
It's like you were exercised or something.
Yeah, there's an interesting caveat there because comparing those two
Exercise.
heroes wasn't exactly that simple because of the way Fortnite works. Rex is used in the Blast on the Past support, so if you use him in the lead, you actually lose a support hero because you have to replace him with something else to get Blast on the Past active. And so with Ramirez in the lead, you actually have an extra damaging perk, whereas if I use Rex in the lead, I'd have Ramirez and Sledgehammer and my coconuts. I don't know. The way Chinchu did it, factoring all that, it seemed like Rex was...
Everybody
Uh-oh.
just went quick for me for a second.
Oh, are we good now?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe it
Wow.
is me. Maybe some like anti simp. It's just like no girls on the channel.
Fine now. I think Discord's just having an issue too.
No.
It's one of those interesting things to
Yeah.
me, though,
Anyway.
because if Rex was better, then having been released over a year ago, surely he would have been the main hero forever now. Yeah, it got lost, Shemley. He didn't elaborate any of that to me. He did not carry those messages. I'm not blaming you or coming at you or anything. I mean, he shot me 2 numbers and explained nothing. I was like... And even then, Rex was, like, within the margin of negligibility, so...
Yeah.
I'll keep my loadout the same. It's either Choo-Choo says he's better, or you say it's essentially the same. I'll keep doing what I'm doing. You know, it's one of those things. Wally's in here.
Yeah.
Alright, stream's fine
He's
now. I
not-
don't know what happens there.
He said knock knock. Is he at your house?
No, I would doubt that.
Could be.
That's
Um,
creepy.
Got a whole mini fridge you can throw at him if he is.
A whole mini fridge? Don't throw my
Yeah.
mini fridge I bought, Beast. That's a gift.
Oh. I mean, it also is heavy and you can, like, yeet it
That's
over.
not that heavy.
My dad
Have you-
kicks my fan. He's doing something else. Mom's asking me to prep this area. I'm like, how many times did I tell them that if we list the house, then there's a 2-hour window where I need to be undisturbed? And it's like everybody just doesn't care. I
They want you to rearrange your angry birds is what they want you to do.
Yeah, they're not color
Yeah.
coordinated. You need to. What's going on here?
It's just too angry.
It's too angry.
This is
Yeah.
a very busy area, and it needs to be less busy.
Yeah, this needs to get
Too
fixed.
many water bottles without their caps.
Oh, Beast,
Absolutely
did you address the before 2 a.m. comment from the Discord? That the donation
Oh
will
yeah,
happen?
I
if you-
tagged him right away, and I haven't gotten one.
No, I saw the tag. I saw all of it as it happened. Basically, I was like, wow, okay.
He said if I see his message and let him know before 2 a.m., he will donate $20 next stream. Now, 2 a.m. could have been tricky because he sent it at 11:59 my time. That could have been 1:59 in his time zone, and he could have just been cheesing me, giving me 60 seconds to read a message and he'll donate.
That's true.
But
That sounds like the most likely
I
case.
have a screenshot that supports you actually having done it,
Oh.
I'll take that. I will take that.
mean,
and that's in my time zone.
Yeah, if anybody wants
So
to
it's
know,
even an
maybe
hour
I'll
later
take
than
it.
yours.
Yeah. I like this backup that I've got going on too. So I can pop out the Streamlabs widget and then I can capture that for the podcast because it broke again today. And
Oh yeah.
it's been a nice replacement. It looks good enough. I'm happy with it. And long
Yeah.
ago, 20 minutes ago, Scooty, we were in the middle of a topic. He asked me if what we all do for a job. I make videos, put them on the internet. Sig
Oh.
cooks, I think.
I play with people's food. Yeah.
I play.
Just draw little smiley faces in their macaronis.
Donna makes
No, I
mashed.
do that with
Michelle
ketchup and
makes
mustard
Donna's
on
masks.
hamburgers, though.
Yeah. Oh, that's cute. Do you actually do that? 'Cause-
On hamburgers? Yeah.
yeah. Oh.
Do they? Would they ever even know it?
No, no one would ever know.
Oh.
I have a
That's
picture.
That's
funny.
why it,
Post it.
You got to give them little eyebrows, or else that ketchup
it's
wouldn't
just
be
so
totally even.
wholesome.
Chriselle, what is your exact job title?
Mostly machinists, but lately
Okay.
I've been basically I work with large engine lathes and I drill holes in cast iron. It's like a rough cut machining operation, which basically you got like this giant lathe which you hold on to a piece of metal and we drill holes in it, which is
Yeah.
used for like hydraulics and stuff like that. Basically anything that needs is like large, heavy
This is why I
metal
asked for
pieces.
job title chat, because I knew he'd give us the whole confusing rundown.
Yeah. I'm
Machinist.
sorry.
Heavy metal machinist is
Yeah, and
more or less.
I forgot to tell you guys this.
Oh,
So my coworker, his sister-in-law tested positive for COVID, and he lives with
no.
them.
uh-oh.
So he's been out, and I've been having to do his job and my job.
What?
So I've been having to start up a lathe, run over, ship material and all that sort of stuff, do shipping and receiving type stuff, and then go back, make sure my lathe didn't explode, and then go back, do shipping and receiving stuff. And then it's just like constantly running the length
I
of a
think
football
if your
field
lathe
back and forth.
exploded, you would know.
I mean, yeah, I would know, but I would also be on the other
Yeah.
side of the shop, and I couldn't immediately
Yeah.
like stop it from exploding more.
Tell Chriselle he is the real Torbjorn from Overwatch. I don't know. What that means.
Torbjorn?
Is he a machinist?
What is a Torbjorn?
It's
Yeah.
Torbjorn. I was putting in the Y. I figured that's what that meant.
Oh, yeah.
Unless he literally
Yeah.
means Torbjorn.
He's just like short, like basically he's a dwarf and
I can
he's
see
a
it.
machinist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
no, that I see it.
I live underneath a mountain, and I have a small
And
anvil and,
your ult
machine.
is you spew lava everywhere.
Yeah.
So
and like iron chips that get in your eyes, and annoyingly enough, and yeah, well, I don't know, it happens to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I do though. But yeah, it's fun actually. Most of the time, we don't have air conditioning in our shop, so it's normally very hot and toasty. And I know that it's very hot and toasty in Sig's kitchen generally.
I've
just 'cause
wondered
things
about
are
that.
getting cooked.
Is there no easy solution to that? Does it need to be hot just for the way cooking works?
Well, the solution is spend money.
For the way cooking works, yeah, there's fire around me.
I'm
It
aware,
happens.
but like, man, there's no insane ventilation that could mitigate that.
I mean,
Well, there's
Probably
a thing
wouldn't
where
be
if you
perfect,
if you blow cold air into the room, which is what I would love to do, it blows out the fire.
yeah.
Okay, but
I
like
can see how that
modern
would be. Pilot
kitchen, I
lights
don't
are a
think there's a
thing.
literal open fire, is there? Pilot go out?
Yeah.
Well, okay, all right.
Pilot
not
lights,
gonna-
yeah.
There's
are
a way to
flames
move
underneath
air without
saute
specifically
pans.
putting out the.
Yeah, that'd be a little bit
No, I
problematic.
know.
And you
But
just have
yeah,
the room.
no,
filled
that's
with
a lot
propane.
of it, and it's a large, by and large, it's money that the
Mhm.
boss doesn't have, the restaurant doesn't have
That makes sense.
to
Yeah.
provide better cooling than
Oh,
we
we
have.
got the same situation.
You ever put
too.
like a fan just right on your face though?
Yes.
Yeah,
And my-
'Cause that's
I have
kind of what
one
I was thinking.
underneath the
Just some
counter. I have
strategic
one underneath
placement.
the counter next to me that's pointed at that's pointed at my legs all the time, and one that's up on the countertop that's pointed at me.
Yeah,
from
that's more of what
the
I
side.
meant.
Yeah,
Okay, so you do got that little infrastructure.
but that's by and large that's moving hot air around.
right.
So, you know,
In my
it
shop,
helps, but not nearly to the degree you would want it to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my shop, we have like swamp coolers, which they're like these giant fans with a little water reservoir and a little pump that has like this weird like mesh thing that
Circulate
lets water flow over it, and then it just kind of blows like this mist over you, which it kind of works except when it's really humid out here in East Texas, and then you're just getting soggy and way too hot. And yeah, as if like the humidity is like 95%, which has been like that for a while now, then it's just additionally soggy
in really dry areas. Like we had 29 palms.
Yeah.
29 palms, for those of you, most of you who don't know, is literally between the Joshua Tree National Forest, which isn't like a real forest, it's a desert forest. Look up Joshua trees. And the Mojave Desert. So between the Mojave Desert and the Joshua Tree Forest is 29 palms. So it's literally in hell's armpit, and it's nice and dry. And so swamp coolers are effective there.
I was just asked to not use the sink in the front before I leave. Am I leaving separately from the...
Those are cute.
I don't know what I'm doing.
From the family?
Well, I should probably start charging my phone.
Maybe.
Maybe I should make sure my battery bank's charged too, because it looks like...
We're just gonna walk in while you're sitting there. Like we're gonna it's gonna be like the last 5 minutes of the show, and they're gonna be like, "We're early." Hi.
It's like,
And
they could show up as podcast guests or something.
I got a nice little follow-up from Denis here. Dennis? I don't know how to pronounce that. Who is thanking for getting help on the Discord. Thanks to our Discord that apparently never helps anybody, he was able to get a weapon.
Our workers.
Yeah.
Our racist
We pay them in
workers.
high fives.
Not even
Jesus, I really, really hate that people seem to think that anybody works for Minerva. Nobody works for Minerva.
What kind of income do they think is happening
Beast kind of
here?
does. Yeah.
I don't know.
You're gonna pay me, Beast? Because apparently we're workers.
Yeah.
No,
We need a high
let's not start. Let's not fucking open that can of worms. No, a minute ago I said that I had a picture to send to the channel, and it did not send for some reason.
I hate when that happens.
While I'm here looking at my phone trying to get it to send the picture, I get a message through Instagram from Griffin saying, "What are you doing on your phone? I'm sending a picture for you guys to look at."
So old people and technology crack me up, like really old people. I'm not talking like me old or Sig old. I'm talking old people.
Yeah.
My great aunt.
Grandparents. Great-grandparents.
Yes.
Yeah.
My great aunt. So she was my grandmother's sister.
Yeah.
Just so we did 23andMe, that like DNA stuff. We did it for Clark too. So me and my husband have done it. And Clark was finally big enough to know how to spit into a tube. Because it's harder than you would think to get a kid to spit into a tube repeatedly. But he got him to do it. It was a struggle. It took like half an hour, but we did it. And so we did that, and we got his results back, and it's great and whatnot. And on these sites, if you haven't done them, it connects you with your like DNA relatives. And but unless you like approve a connection, it just shows them initials. So for Clark's, they just see a C and then our last name initial.
Yeah.
And so my great aunt, who is his great aunt, messaged him and was like, would like to know where you live and talk about family.
It's a little
He's
sketch.
5. But she doesn't know that.
Yeah.
We
Did you
lost
freeze
her.
Rosa froze up.
Rosa, come
Oh,
back.
no. Rosa Froza.
Rosa, you froze for us.
Meanwhile, I've got Wally trying to tell me a knock-knock joke, and he said, knock knock, and I said, who, what? And he said, it's who's there, and I said, I figured it's who's there, now let that sink in. Then I sent him the little emoji of the let that sink in emote.
Oh God.
He said, it's who's there. I said, I would imagine it is who's there. What am I waiting for? Let that sink in.
You froze for a while, Rosa.
Yeah, you froze.
Did I unfreeze? Okay.
Yeah, you're unfrozen.
So what was really weird about that is that Beast and Chriselle did not freeze, but Sig was frozen for me that whole time.
What?
Oh.
Like the whole time you guys were talking to me, I could hear you just fine, and I was like, "What?" Anyways,
What did you do, Sig?
so that 23andMe.
I don't
thing,
know.
So what's funny about extra funny about my great aunt messaging my child's profile for that is on those, because since I've done it too,
Mhm.
Clark is very clearly listed as my child.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
my profile has my picture on it.
Yeah.
So I messaged her and I was like, Nani, because that's what I call her. I was like, Nani, this is
It's like you know me. Yeah.
Yeah.
this is my son's profile. Like,
Mhm.
if you want to
Yeah.
talk, Nani, you can just call me. My
It's
number is
super
still
easy.
You have a phone number.
Yeah.
Nani,
Yeah.
my number's been the same for the
Oh, that's
last
good.
decade. Just
Yeah.
call me.
Yeah.
And it's funny
That's
because I'm sure
hilarious.
she just saw like, oh, new DNA relative, and didn't look at it anything past new.
Just gonna start typing.
Yeah, just start typing.
Yeah.
Oh, Nani.
Oh, that's a
Like-
little sweet though. Like she was just excited to meet a new
Right.
relative that she's never met before, and she's just ready to talk.
And to be fair, my son is the first great grandbaby in like the family.
Mhm.
So like it's the first one from that line that's gonna be on any,
Yeah, makes sense.
because I'm the second oldest grandkid, first to pop one out.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was my
One
brother.
second.
He was
Like a
the
race.
first one to have a grandchild, and I'm not gonna have any kids, so yay!
No,
But
it
Really?
wasn't
You
a race.
decided so soon?
I have decided so soon.
Really?
Why do you say so soon? You guys have been married for a while, haven't you?
We've been
This-
married since 2017, and we've known each other since 2014.
Right. This is
Well, I'm just
usually a
thinking, like-
decision. This is usually something you talk about before you get married.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
something you
We-
should talk about before you get married.
Yeah. No, I'm good with no kids. I'm good being an uncle, and my wife is good being an aunt. So, and we have cat children, which is super
Yes.
important to us. So, oh, Sig.
What?
That's cute. I love
Oh.
that you do
What?
that.
The TNT.
The thing that you just posted.
Oh. I
Oh,
didn't
no.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It finally came through. Holy shit,
Yeah.
it took long enough.
It's
Oh.
the food that he makes smiley faces on.
Did you give it a
Oh.
nose with
Nobody-
mustard?
Nobody ever even sees that because I put a burger right on top of that.
Yeah. That's the thought that counts, and it's
Yeah.
how you know that it's made with love. That's great.
That's funny.
Oh.
I guess
Now
that's
I'm
okay.
hungry.
I was thinking about it being evenly spread, but no, that looks all right. I wouldn't even notice.
It works out.
You
I'm
just
always one of
twist-
those who just does like a huge, like centered has to be, so it'll squish out and cover it whole.
Makes sense. Although if too much of it gets absorbed into the bun, it kind of has the like counter effect of just being like a giant like core of mustard and
Yeah.
ketchup in the
Softness.
center. Yeah. So
The big mistake is when I have like a tomato there, then I put the
Mhm.
ketchup and it gets trapped. Then you always gotta have like something to squish it out, like lettuce or something above the
See,
ketchup.
the bun itself is well toasted, so that the
Right.
ketchup and mustard doesn't cause it to become a soggy mess.
Sure.
yeah.
But yeah, the lettuce protects the upper bun from the tomato and the onion and pickle and stuff anyway.
Did I just fall into an episode of SpongeBob?
I was about to say nice pickle placement. Those look
currently-
easy to hide under your tongue though.
I'm currently reading that it's your decision, but Fortnite needs more players, so you should make kids.
What? Wait, who
No
said
one should have kids if they don't want kids.
That's not his point.
No one.
Not his point.
I know.
His point.
Clark likes to play Save the World. He calls it the zombie game.
Right. The fact that he's saying we should have kids to populate Fortnite is
That's the reason.
Yeah.
I'll say it was a joke. I know. I know.
Oh no, she's well aware it's a joke. She's dragging you
Yeah.
for it. She's giving you shit for it. No, the burger bun thing. Like, I have a, you said that the SpongeBob thing, like how it's all a certain way. I have a certain way. I have that little bit of. I don't want to say obsessive compulsive disorder because I know I don't have that disorder, and it kind of lessens it for people who actually have it. But I do have a way that I need things to be when I set a plate.
Yeah.
If you look at some of the pictures that I've posted throughout the Discord over the years and stuff, they're all laid out the same way. Like the
That's
protein
not
is
so
in the
bad
same
in a
place,
restaurant.
and the sides are in the same place.
Yeah.
when you're making the same thing kind of a lot.
Yeah. And that's
I'd
the
imagine you have a
thing is
rhythm.
I actively make a grilled flounder with French fries and coleslaw all the time, and I lay it out on the plate the same way every single time. And it kills me when I work with someone else and they're doing it a different way. They put the coleslaw in the wrong place,
Like a
like it screws up my whole thing. I'm doing a thing and you're fucking it all up. Get out of here.
Get out of here, get stabbed. No.
I like the idea of when you go to a restaurant and it's always laid out the same way.
That's my whole point, is so that if you come in my restaurant to eat and you have a certain meal and you're like, oh man, that was really good, I want to make sure that if you come back 5 years later and you order that same thing, you have the same meal, because that's what you expect as a customer.
Yeah.
You know, I want it to come out on the plate and you'd be like, holy shit, that's exactly like, hang on, let me bring it up on Instagram. There it is. It's the same thing. You know, I want that.
Has that happened?
No, but I'm saying I want that to be able to be a thing. I know that every time I make shrimp and grits, I lay it out where it's got fruit along the side and it's pineapple, orange, laid out on each other, you know, and I want to do that every time. Josh, the guy that works with me, he just kind of throws fruit at the plate, you know, and it's like, no, man, come on, put a little effort in, make it look nice.
Ethan, you could cook for me, because I actually do have some really neurotic tendencies when it comes to food. Like I'm not OCD like diagnosed, but I have a lot of other shit going on.
I have neuroses is a good way to say that.
If my food's not like the right way, I freak out sometimes, and so
absolutely.
you and I would be great food buddies. You could just make sure it's right every time. Because you don't like the microwave either, right?
I use the microwave, but sparingly.
Okay.
Schnimley, we did already go through the Troll DMs thing. You're gonna enjoy it when you watch it back later. I promise.
Rewind it. It was fun.
It's worthwhile.
Yeah. Make the effort to go back and watch it. It's worth it. But yeah, as far as the restaurant goes, like it was drilled into me to make sure that, you know, food comes out the same every time, because 75% of what I do is presentation. You know. Because, I mean, it could be the best filet mignon you've ever had, but if it looks like dog food, you're probably going to be like, man, that wasn't so good. You know what I mean?
That's big.
I mean, on the other end of the spectrum, I could take the most common fucking cut of meat that nobody ever really uses and make it look really good, and most people would enjoy it. They'd be like, well, fuck, that was pretty good, you know?
Doesn't even matter if you microwave the baked potato.
Correct. That's absolutely right. It does not matter if I microwave the baked potato, because it is still cooked and people don't know the damn difference.
Oh, what's the thing on that with wine? They took some like $400 bottle of wine, put it up next to $20 box wine, put it both in a nice fancy glass, and people couldn't even tell.
Get yourself some $10 Aldi wine. It's the way to go.
I have literally seen that in restaurants where they have it like it's an open kitchen, and they have the big fancy bottle of wine that they use for cooking wine. It's not fancy wine at all. They refill that bottle from a box of wine in the back that you can't see happen.
Yeah.
I've seen that. they use a $5 box wine to fill that fancy bottle so that the customer can watch that fancy bottle gets, poured into their food while it's cooking or whatever.
Right.
So,
It's not inherently lying.
no,
But
we use
it's,
cooking wine. Cooking wine is inherently cheap. It is a thing.
Right.
Yeah, because I'd imagine any fanciness out of it just gets cooked away.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. It makes no difference whether or not it's the highest quality wine or not.
I've never really done much cooking with wine before, but it sounds like a fun thing.
I'll
funny
tell
on
you
the-
right now, cooking sherry,
Yeah.
taking a shot of cooking sherry, is one of the worst decisions ever. Don't do that.
I've never done that, but I know from the smell that my
Yes.
body can react viscerally.
Yes.
that is.
No, it's bad. I
Yeah,
got $5. I got $5 for doing it.
On
so,
the one hand, I've always wanted to avoid that mentality because I want to save money and get food I know is good and not pay for it. But on the other, especially when I'm at a restaurant, it's nice to be tricked into thinking you're having exclusive food because it really does taste better, even if you know better. You're like, I know that they're just playing it up, but I'll be damned if that's not the best steak I've had in a while. Like it just you play into the atmosphere, the ambiance of a restaurant, and it just
yeah.
I'll take
So
it. It's a splurge,
on
but
the-
I'll take it.
On
Yeah.
the same thing though, like a chef in a high-end restaurant, they're using high-quality ingredients to provide a high-quality meal, without losing any flavor from those ingredients, and that's why it costs as much as it does. What's
Yeah.
really amazing is fast food joints, because they take the lowest quality ingredients and they try to make them good.
Mhm.
And they
sometimes
succeed.
Like really well.
And it
This
only
turn-
cost you $3 for that burger. Like,
Sister and
what
I
the
have a
fuck?
standing McDonald's date tonight. Like,
Yeah, like
we're planning for it into the evening.
it's astounding sometimes how good they can make a Baconator taste. Like,
Yeah.
okay, let's go.
Oh, I love Baconators.
I'll
know?
play into the crappiness. Sometimes I'll be like, you know what? I just want to trash my body. I'm gonna go
Yes,
get some
absolutely.
nuggets.
You guys ever
some
had
fries.
tacos from a place called Jack in a Box?
I've heard
Oh
of it,
yeah,
but not
I love
had it.
Jack in
Jack
the
in a Box tacos are the most delicious, most disgusting thing you will ever put in your body. You look at this
Yeah.
and you're like, that's not a taco. What the fuck is that?
It's lower quality than Taco Bell.
It looks like cat food, but it is delicious.
Yeah.
It is I always
Something
tell
that you
people,
eat in a corner.
Right.
I can,
it is something you eat when you are blackout drunk at 2 a.m.
I
Yeah.
can absolutely attest that I have walked by a Taco Bell and just smelled it and been like, "Yep, that's happening. Going in there." And just the
Did
smell
not
of
know I
Taco
was
Bell is
hungry.
enough for me most of the time to convince me. Yep, I'm going to eat that terrible, terrible, terrible food. I don't care if it makes me feel bad. It's
Right.
happening.
Yeah. I had some Sonic for lunch, and I'm kind of feeling that right now.
Yeah. Oh man, the
Good.
Sonic is
foot long
really
chili
good
cheese
for
coney.
me. Oh, but that is
Yeah.
what I get. I do.
I will fight you over a chili cheese hot dog from Sonic.
I've
I
had that at the
had-
mall sometimes. Because that's like
Yeah.
the only situation where I'd be walking by a restaurant. But sometimes we'll be playing Pokemon. I'm just like, yeah, I'll catch up.
Give me a minute.
Yeah. Because there really is just options. And I'm like, you know what? Panda Express. I don't even eat it elsewhere
Yeah.
ever. But that's
I
my
love
thing.
Panda
At the mall, $9 and get a cup of noodles and what's the meat and the broccoli? Yeah, beef and
Beijing
broccoli.
beef
And I
and
will
beef and
just.
broccoli.
Orange
Beef
chicken.
broccoli,
is what I
literally.
always get.
I will
Beef
almost never get that last bite. Fills me up to the T. And I'll
Right,
just
right where you need it.
right
Yeah.
where I need it. Just the
honey bowl
smallest
has
serving
to
they
go.
have, the bowl. I'm good to go.
I'm ruled by my stomach, and so is Clark. So the other night, it was Saturday. It was like 10:30 at night. My husband had already been asleep for like hours. He went to bed early, and Clark comes in and he's like, "I'm hungry." And I was like, "Well, did you eat all your dinner?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he did. He ate all his spaghetti and meatballs from dinner earlier. And he's like, "But I'm hungry." And I was like, "Well, what do you want to eat?" And he goes, McDonald's. And I was like, "Yeah, fuck it, let's go." Like,
Let's go. I'm in.
That kid
Want
is
nuggets?
never gonna
'Cause
forget
I want
that.
nuggets.
Have to
Precedent has been set.
yeah, I want a McChicken. Let's do it. Like,
Yeah.
My
and then he
sister's the
was
same
like, I
way.
want extra French fries, and I was like, "I'm not gonna get you an extra French fry, but I'm gonna get a large French fry because I got a coupon for $1 for a large
We'll
French fry.
share it.
You can have what's left. I'm only gonna eat like a medium's worth." And he
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, let's."
I love doing that to my sister because she's the healthy eater, salad type, no carb bread with my mom. But I'll be damned if I don't dangle the thought of French fries in front of her. She'll go, okay, fine, we'll go. And she will eat all of them. French fries are just a thing for her. And on that topic earlier about like the placebo of like it tasting better than it probably literally does, I've had that kind of feeling with the energy drink, not G Fuel, the gamer stuff I've been drinking. Like, I don't know if it's literally caffeine keeping me up or the fact that I drink it intending to stay up, but I'll be damned if I'm not awake for the next few hours. Like, I don't even care if it's placebo. If it is, all the better. I'll take it. Then I'm whatever. It doesn't matter if the same effect is achieved.
Yeah.
And I had that the other day. I was kind of just down. I don't know, sleepy kind of after a meal, not in the mood for anything. I'm like, you know what? Energy drink time. And it literally felt like Popeyes and a spinach. I cranked out a video. I was all happy about it. And I had a good night. That was that.
I know when energy drink supplements are working because I'm old and my heart rate skyrocketed.
Yeah.
The HP says it's probably the sugar. I don't think they have that much sugar in there. It's I don't know exactly what's in there.
Definitely does something to your body. It's not. That is not a placebo.
Rose is over here fucking twitching, going, "I can taste numbers."
I had to stay awake for 3 days when we were down in when I was down in Houston helping out with hurricane relief stuff. And it was for like a dumb reason too, is because they didn't schedule like a night shift for the people watching the supplies and stuff. And I was in charge of like this giant supply warehouse full of like relief supplies, like water, MREs, stuff like that. And like this one like energy drink company donated a pallet of energy drinks for us, not for like distribution, but just for soldiers. And I had like
Rippets?
8 of those. No, they weren't Rippets, but they were disgusting.
Oh,
I mean,
worse than Rippets, the lifeblood of the Marine Corps.
Yeah, no, we've had those before, and they're also disgusting. But yeah, like there was a certain point where like my tiredness wasn't like increasing or decreasing, but like my heart rate was just like yeah, it was a bad time.
That's what I've liked about these energy drinks. I've had Mountain Dews to stay awake a lot, but that does something to me. That energy comes at a cost. But I don't know if it's just like the flavor or whatever the drink. I've never felt jittery or crazy. It's just been kind of.
It might be a lower level of caffeine.
It is. Yeah. And I'm taking scoops as well, so I can control my dosage as well, which is kind of nice.
Dosage.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah.
You know that it's dosage.
Dosage.
I drink that shit for a reason.
Years ago, there was an energy drink brand called Savage Energy Drinks. And it was like a black plastic bottle. Y'all remember like beer started doing the plastic bottles for a little while there? The unbreakable plastic bottles, like Coors Light did it, I think, for a while. I think they might still do it. I don't know.
I've never.
They were like these heavy duty, like wide neck plastic bottles. And it was a black plastic bottle with green writing, and it had like a tiger coming out of the Anyway, it was called Savage Energy Drinks. And I liked the flavor. I liked the taste of it better than, like Monster or whatever. It was similar to Monster, but I liked the flavor of it better. And I found out that a lot of places that I had been buying it from just stopped carrying it. And I came across one place that I knew the owners of because I had worked for them at one point years before.
Yeah.
And I came across a place that I found it at that gas station. And I was like, holy shit, you actually still sell Savage Energy Drinks? And they were like, well, yeah, I don't know, And I was like, can I get you to order me a case of those? And they were like, a case? And I was like, yeah, how many come in a case? And they were like, 24. Jesus, how many? Do you really want 24 of these things? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
and they were like, well, it's like, let me go look at the manifest, see how much a case costs. And, I'll just give it to you for cost. I won't even charge you like the upcharge that normally they would. Because, they were friends of mine. I had worked for them. I knew them. And, they got me the case of energy drinks. I brought them back home, and I put the whole goddamn case in my fridge. Didn't really think much of it.
Oh, no.
And then over the course of the next week, I drank them like people just drink normally water or Coca-Cola or whatever.
Oh, no.
I drank 3, and these are like 1 liter fucking bottles. I drank 3 of them in the course of one day, and I swear I could feel my life just fucking running away from me. Like I was going to die. I am sure of it. There's a cat that just ran behind me.
All around.
Oh, I missed
That
it.
has footprints on the ceiling from that week. Yeah. No, I was literally a shaky fucking heart palpitations, like the whole thing. I was gonna die. I was like, I don't know if I can make it through today. Standing there at the job at work, afraid to use the knife on the cutting board because I might cut my other hand off.
How many fingers do I have? How many fingers do I have?
Yeah. But I couldn't even count them because they were moving like this.
10 fingers, 10 fingers, 9 fingers.
Have you seen that episode of Futurama where
Yeah.
they all get that money and
I think so. Yeah.
he
I
drinks
missed
so much
those,
coffee he is skipping through time
Yeah.
happily and saves
Yeah.
everyone from the fire because he's on turbo time.
Everyone else is in slow motion. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I literally almost drank enough energy drink to kill myself. I'm sure.
Wow.
Of it.
I'm glad
Remember
you're
when
alive.
Jaffe did the math?
Yeah, Jaffe tried.
He was like 4 Red Bulls in. He's like, oh my god, am I gonna die? Are we okay? And then apparently the lethal dosage is like 120. He was golden.
TwitchCon 2018, I lived off of Red Bulls because Red Bull on the exhibitionist floor had a booth and they gave them away for free. And they had like the good flavors. They had the tropical, and then they had the blueberry, and then they had like the classic and whatnot. And I was so frequently at that booth that one of the booth girls recognized me and just would have the yellow can ready for me. And that was the tropical flavor. She would just have it ready for me. And then the last day I walked up and she was like, we're all out of, I didn't have to say anything. She knew who I was, what I was coming for.
Yeah.
She was like, we're all out of the yellow can. Do you want the blueberry? That's the only flavored we have. And then we have, and I was like, yeah, give me the blueberry. Let's do it.
Like a junkie.
I'm gonna live.
Give it
a
to some of
little.
that shit. Let's go.
If you guys have never been to a con, they are nonstop nerd party.
Yeah.
You go to the convention during the day, and then especially if you're over 21, it is just hitting the bars all night. Even if you're not drinking, you are out
Yeah.
all night with the other nerds. And then come the morning, if there's panels, if you actually want to enjoy the convention for
does
what a
that?
convention is, the panels, you get up in the morning. And I am fully nerd. I was there for the panel. So I was like, oh, there's a panel. I want to go do it. 9:30 a.m. All right, I guess we're doing this. Not getting to sleep until 2 a.m. I was just ready to go.
Those guys that are the 4:30 a.m. speedrunners actually still have an audience. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a
Yeah,
thing.
I've been to one con, but it was later in the day, around 8 o'clock or so. Everything was really winding down. The main reason we were there was to see a Seven Lion show. He's a DJ, and yeah, I think we just watched a couple people play some sort of tournament, and I think League or something. And then we played on some new computer builds that they had set up with Origin PC or something. And then Seven Lions came on, and then we went home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt kind of bad because a lot of the booths and stuff like that were cleared out. Everything was gone, so I feel like I missed out on a lot of the experiences there.
Right.
I'll go eventually when things are normal again.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
If that ever happens.
yeah, I'd love to go to some of those cons and such.
That Red Bull flavor just sparked something that I don't even know if I could convey how funny it was, but there was some girlfriend playing Borderlands because of her boyfriend kind of storyline sort of thing. And she was talking about the high of looting and everything. She was like, blue, and then she synced it up to that Breaking Bad clip when he first tried the blue meth Tuco did. It's like, blue, yellow, green, give me more of that shit. I don't even care. But she synced it up to the colors of the different rarities of guns. Blue, yellow, green, just give me more of that shit, man. The colors matched too, and it was my favorite thing. And that's whatever I think about anytime anybody ever likes anything ever. I just, I that plays in my head.
Red Bull is like Gatorade in that nobody actually remembers the flavor names. You just say, "Get me this
Blue.
color can. I want the yellow can. Oh, I want
Gator,
the
you
green."
want blue or light blue? What is
No,
vastly superior?
The pear one, you have to say pear, because if you say the green one, they'll be like, "There's no green one." They
Yes,
want
there's apple, because, or maybe they don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
But when I went on my road trip to Florida, I got like 2, I don't know, 8-packs of apple, because I was like, "We're driving straight through to Florida," like.
they had pear that is like the same color as your wall, actually, the back wall. It's a nice dark green, and then they had the green apple one, which was a much lighter green. But yeah, they had 2 different flavors that
I have to
sold at the
avoid
gas
them
station, and
all
I had to
together
differentiate.
now.
'Cause I like the pear one.
I can't drink alcohol, and I can't drink more than my 1 cup of coffee a day anymore because of like all the meds I'm on. I am on ADD meds, and if you're not familiar with ADD meds, they in themselves are stimulants. So if I take this stimulant, which is an amphetamine, and then I drink a fucking like a full can of energy drink, yes, I can taste numbers. Like
You can start seeing in gamma
32,
rays.
like, yeah.
My old kitchen manager Ross was he was prescribed ADD medication,
Yeah, no, I'm just.
and he did not take it the way that they prescribed it.
Oh.
He took it in a different method, the method that you're not supposed to, that most people are abusing it. But yeah, he basically, he abused his Ritalin or whatever it was. I don't remember which one it was, but yeah, he abused that. And it was really weird because like we got free Red Bulls from the bar at the restaurant I worked at all the time. Like we just go up there and get one and nobody cared. He was the kitchen manager, so he'd go up there and get 5 and bring them back to the kitchen and just hand them out to us if we wanted, And he'd go out back, come back in, go, and then he'd drink a Red Bull.
Oh.
And man, that kitchen was clean. Holy shit, that kitchen was clean.
My chest hurts thinking about that. That wasn't like a clutch my pearls move. It was a clutch my heart because I am just imagining how that would feel.
Yeah, just beating out of your chest. Yeah.
Just like the first hour after I take my meds, my heart rate is high. Like I had a morning doctor's appointment with my psych person who gives me the ADD meds.
Yeah.
I had a morning appointment with them, and so they take all my vitals when I go. And they were like, "Oh, what's your heart rate?" Well, I didn't go. It's COVID, so it was a virtual appointment. I was like, they were like, "What's your heart rate?" And I was like, "Oh, let me check." And I checked because I'm really bad at taking my own heart rate, but I have the fancy watch. And I looked and I was like, 142. That's not right.
That's not good.
That's not good. And I was like,
calm down.
But that was the thing. I didn't feel like heart racy or anything. And the doctor's assistant looked concerned enough. So I started getting concerned, which was not helping my heart rate.
That made it go up more.
It didn't make it go up because if it went up more, I'd probably have to go to the hospital, but it just kind of stayed right there. And then we were trying to figure it out. And I was like, oh, it's my Adderall. It's my Adderall. And she was like, yeah, that's it. And then the doctor.
That was it.
Well, the doctor came in 2 seconds later. Yeah. People abuse that one so much. And so when I first started taking it, I had this inherent shame for taking it. I take it as prescribed, but I'm like, oh no.
You didn't tell anybody you were taking it because people were like, can I get one?
Right. Because there's this like I said, there's this inherent shame because so many people who don't need it abuse it. And then even people who do need it, they occasionally abuse it. So I'm like, oh, this med bad. But you know what? It helps me focus. I literally am an unfocused person. I get my work done. I just suck it up. There's nothing wrong with getting mental health for all of it.
No, that's absolutely right. There's nothing wrong with going and getting the help you need. Yeah. Make the effort. Beast, are you at that point that we're going to have to...
I gotta go do things because everybody's losing their minds.
Okay.
Rearrange.
we made it. We
Bird.
made it through 2 hours without you having to stop. So
We
Yeah.
did. And YouTube's been a lot better about stitching streams back together, so I probably won't have to re-upload anything, so that's cool.
Ooh,
nice.
There you go.
Yeah, I looked through a stream that had a really choppy, laggy, and I looked through and it just cut it all together. There were just skips. I was like, oh, cool, look at that. And it
Excellent.
at least put it together.
Perfect.
And that happened today.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us for the podcast. If you missed the whole thing from earlier about the dealing with trolls, go back and watch it. It's worth it.
It is.
We'll see you next time, I guess.
Minerva Podcast, episode 33.